Welcome in, everybody. Hi, Neil. Always good to see you. I think I'm going to stay muted at least for the first little bit. I want to just show various time frames charting gold, silver, and Bitcoin. I did notice a fair amount of correlation when I was looking earlier. So there's time periods where there is correlation, and then there's other times where it doesn't seem like there's very much. But what I might do is open up the panel later on, and then we can chat about it too. But for the most part, I just want to kind of review these visually, and I'll keep an eye on the chat too. So I'm going to mute back up and show you different time frames. And let me know if the audio doesn't sound balanced. I got a bit of music going on with it too. Thanks, Neil. So I'm kind of assuming anyone that's on a phone may have a difficult time seeing this. I've got it zoomed in pretty much as I can with you to still be able to see the relevant time frame below. But I'm going to start by zooming out a fair amount just so you can see the longer haul. And then we'll zoom in and keep it relatively zoomed in most of the time. Hey C4, good to see you. Graphs like the other one I showed the other night. I'm trying to think of what the graph was the other night. I don't remember. Okay, I changed my mind. I'm gonna stay unmuted just to narrate a little bit for you guys so you can see. You don't remember either. Right on. So this is charting very short term now, just really the last 5 or 6 hours of trading. Let's see if we can zoom in even a little more. Yeah, so now this is just like the last 5 minutes of trading. And part of the reason for wanting to highlight this is just to show the extreme volatility in Bitcoin, which is the black, compared to silver, which is the blue, and gold, which is the gold. So like if we hide the Bitcoin here just for a second, that clearly shows how much more volatile silver is than gold. But you don't notice that so much when you're looking compared to Bitcoin. So there's very short term. Let's look much longer term now. And we'll just cherry pick this date so that it starts right at the beginning of 2023, which you can see down here. And we'll just leave it there for a couple minutes while I check out the chat. So for anyone that can't see, since the beginning of 2023, which is a little over a year ago, so about 15 months, Bitcoin price has run up 273%, gold up about almost 19, and silver about 4. Yeah, Neil, I think there's several different forces that are holding it down. But yep, your hypothesis there is, or theory is probably definitely holds some weight, shall we say. So this is now showing, this is 15 month. I'll just put this in as a timestamp. 15 month chart. I'll switch it up every couple minutes here. If Neil, if you or if anyone else wants to come up on the panel sooner, let me know. I wasn't even planning on talking that much. I kind of wanted to document it and kind of share it with you guys. I've already reviewed it myself, but this is a real-time chart, so it is showing the current action. Okay, so we'll zoom this out even more now. For any of the crypto fans, they'll be upset if we don't show the longer haul. Okay, so this is going back to 2018 now. You can see since that time, the Bitcoin price has gone up 552%. Gold's up 63%, and silver's up 50%. But one of the other things I wanted to highlight, as much as the Bitcoin's got that upside potential, and you'll see that when we zoom out even more. Okay, there, it's up 18,000%. Since its inception. 28,000 according to that now. Say 21,000%. Quite impressive. Sorry guys. And you can see there, gold and silver don't even really look like a blip. So there's the long haul. Let's bring this back again. Because it's also very important to highlight the downside in it. So if I cherry pick its last high on its run up there, you can see it dropped about 72%. Bitcoin we're talking about. And during the same period of time, silver dropped about 25 and gold dropped about 8. And they've almost come back to parity now. And so this So this is going back to October 2021. Yeah, I don't know if Bitcoin will completely disappear. I've got a sneaky suspicion that it's around for the long haul. But one thing I will say is I've never been able to figure out, and I still don't believe there's any reason for it to be worth more than an ounce of gold. That I can't figure out. And so in a lot of ways I do think it's a distraction, but for this live stream I didn't really want to input hey Snakebite, good to see you. I didn't really want to highlight my opinions on it so much as just document what it's doing right now. Okay. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Hold on. It helps if I hit the right button. How do I do this now? Okay, just hold on. Just give me a sec, I'll post the link for you. Yeah. There it is. It's not. Oops, I didn't add that. It's not exactly like StreamYard, but it's pretty close. I think you'll figure it out. And because you're coming up, I'm going to shut the music off. Okay, we've got that shut off. And I also need to change my audio settings to echo cancellation, which I've now done. C4, I can turn, if you really do want the music back on, let me know. I'll turn it back on. Some people want it on. But right now I'd like to introduce our famous friend, Niels Han Dynasty. Welcome on.
Hey, how's it going, JM? One thing I'd like to add, because can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, you can hear me? Okay, one thing I wanted to add, when I was a moderator for the crypto shows 5-6 years ago, well, for one in particular, there was this thing that was brought up back then about how the government was trying to audit Tether and they were not being able to for some reason, and how they said that BTC was tied to Tether, 1-to-1, and Tether is tied to the dollar 1-to-1. Or even if the dollar goes away, they don't even have to be audited. Tether will go away because it's tied to the dollar 1-to-1, which would mean Bitcoin will go away or change real fast again what it is into something else. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it'll go away, but if the charts you're showing, Bitcoin has changed its definition of what it is like 3 times. So yeah, it will stay around because it keeps changing its fundamental purpose, I guess, or someone does, or something like that, because it used to be money. Okay, well, if you show that chart, if that chart from 2018 till now compared to gold and silver, how it was so volatile, well, if that's money, I don't want it as money because it's too damn volatile. For it to be money, it has to be more stable. I don't want to be able to go to work in the morning and know I'm making so much, and as soon as I get home at night, realize I'm making half that much because it fell, So it's not money anymore. Now it's something else. Now it's an asset. Now it's a commodity. So it's changed, and I guess people accept that as a reality. But it is still realistically tied 1-to-1 to Tether, and Tether is realistically tied 1-to-1 to the dollar. And just like the XRP was stopped by the government, same thing can happen to BTC with one court date. They can audit Tether, find out they're not tied 1-to-1 to the dollar, and that crushes BTC. It'll crash, might not go away, definitely crash, and it'll have to reform itself and convince people it's something other than what it is and retie itself to some other commodity that it manufactured, like Tether, because Tether is also a manufactured thing. Okay. So because of that, it's all digitized. It's easy to change what it is because it's all digitized. It has no physical assets to say, oh, it's a building. Oh, now it's a carnival. Oh, now it's a boat. See, on digital assets, you can just go online and say, oh, no, we're now this. Oh, no, we're now that. And all you need is people to believe it and keep buying it. And that's what you are. I mean, look at that chart. Would you want that chart as your paycheck, the black one, the black line?
Well, right, and that's what a lot of celebrities found, right? They were buying, they're saying, okay, pay me my paycheck, when it was way high.
Yeah, but now they
don't look at it, and sure enough, she dropped like 74%.
Yeah, that's not a currency. I'm sorry. That's not an international currency. No government in their right mind would take that as a currency. As a speculative investment, yeah, it's great. But that's all, a speculative investment. There's nothing behind it until it quits changing what it is and solidifies into something permanent. Back 12 years ago, the mafia was using it as currency because it couldn't be tracked. So is that what we want
That's
for, there's just so many things wrong with it right now. I'm not saying that we're not going digital, by no means. Obviously we are. If we want to go and do anything out in outer space, well, everything's going to have to be conducted digitally. So obviously we have to come up with a better digital system. To just for that reason, not much less, to revise the SWIFT system, which is like archaic and everything else. But I don't see as to where the Bitcoin will be money. Will it be an investment of some sort? Yeah, it always has been. But it's a high risk. Again, look at the chart. When people said, when I got out of crypto, I was kind of pushed out of crypto because of my thoughts on precious metals. I got into precious metals, and I looked at platinum, and everyone says, "Oh, we don't do platinum because it's too volatile." Throw up a platinum chart beside that BTC chart. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hell, throw up a platinum chart to that gold chart here recently. Gold is more volatile. I said, I've only been in platinum for 2.5 years, and I'm not seeing no volatility at all in that market comparatively to other markets that So nothing is what it's
platinum. I can add platinum.
People tell you things, but you got to wait and see. And I was actually impressed with Economic Ninja. He went into a deeper explanation of his stance on the Bitcoin. And I can appreciate his logic a lot more than him just saying, "Oh yeah, I buy it, I promote it." Because you got to understand people's perception behind why they do it. Do they believe in it, or do they just see it as a way to make money? And yeah, it is a way to make money. But do I believe in it? No, hell no. I don't believe in Vanguard, but I got money into it. You know what I'm saying? I don't see why you have to believe in it to invest in it. If it's going to make money, sure, invest in it. That's what everybody does. Is it morally correct? Probably not.
I'm going to switch. What color do you want platinum to be? Red?
Oh, I don't care. It's your show, Jam. I just had to say all this stuff about what my feelings on BTC. And
okay. So we'll add platinum in there for a minute. Platinum is now the red line.
It doesn't seem that volatile.
No,
not comparatively.
Oh.
I mean, that blue line's more volatile than the red line.
And that's silver.
Yeah. So silver's more volatile price-wise or price swing-wise than platinum, and so is BTC. But yet 2.5 years ago, when I started doing all my research and getting into the YouTube arena, and I wanted to become well-versed enough in what I liked, which was platinum, and everyone was telling me the shit, and I was like, okay, so I researched. I said, I don't care what you say, I'll research it. And my research found what the chart's showing. Well, no, it's not volatile. It's not volatile at all comparatively to silver, which is supposed to be stable, and not even close to BTC, which is the most volatile. It looks like a patient on a freaking deathbed, heart palpitations.
Hey, George, I'm doing good. High Constitutional Stacker and Lower Block Ministries. Great to see everybody. I do have that scroll at the bottom. The red line now is platinum, gold is gold, blue is silver, and black is Bitcoin. And I'm just, in a way, I like documenting stuff like this because I think we're sort of at a pivotal point, especially, well, not especially, but in part because tomorrow I think we're going to have some more discussion about interest rate policy.
Rate increases.
And you never know. Like, I remember when oil went negative, and I remember when the nickel prices started taking off, and then suddenly all the charts started switching on them. So I like documenting this from time to time.
There's a lot of things being documented nowadays.
So we'll remove Bitcoin just for a minute here, so we get a better comparison of silver, gold, and platinum.
Yeah, silver looks more volatile.
And for sure, even with Bitcoin missing there. Platinum definitely seems like the value buy,
Oh, most
right
definitely.
there.
I mean,
Bitcoin back.
the one that's got the dollar amount as the most is on the bottom on the charts. I'm thinking
Yep,
run into the fiery building.
yep. So now what I'm
That's
going to
what.
do, we've looked at the long term, is I'm going to shorten this right up into a very short term. So now this is watching it minute by minute. Let's put that nicely and see if Bitcoin overtakes while we're live. Right now we've got gold with the best performance in the last, well, let's say the last day, and then silver, then platinum, and then Bitcoin on the right here. So this is very short term now. Hey, Dinar, good to see you.
Hey, Dean. Yeah, this is the micro as to the macro vision, and that's another thing about people is people getting into investing. You can be convinced that anything's a good thing, like you were saying earlier in the stream. Depending on how far you go back in the charts, you can get a small little section of it and make your statement about it. That thing, whatever it is, being the thing to buy. But then, if you look at a longer term chart, you can see, oh my God, no, it's not. This is just a little bump in the road. And a lot of people
Yep.
jumping into these markets because of the economic stuff that's going down that don't normally do market type stuff or precious metals or cryptos or anything like that. A majority of them are probably going to get
Yep.
scammed.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna add in here. We'll keep platinum up, but I want to add it to the ticker there.
What's up, Dean,
Red is
Tom,
platinum.
Constitutional?
There, that should switch that now. So we've got platinum scrolling along the bottom there too. And I look forward to actually getting up to date or relatively up to date pricing on osmium too. I know it won't be on this platform, but that's okay.
I will do my best to do that, along with, I'm sure, Long Live Coins. Give up to date info. I'm actually waiting on a lot of info to get to me from the Osmium Institute in Germany. They're supposed to be sending me a bunch of stuff.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm diving in feet first, bro. I'm getting all kinds of information sent to me. I actually want to be bigger than Ian.
Well, yeah, it
And not
sounds like you're
just
adding a fair amount of creativity and practicality to their existing
well,
approach.
it's a godsend, man. You see a business at a certain level of its evolution, and it's staying at that area, and it's starting to get a good fight hold in its small market cap, and you get introduced to it, and you see it, and you see the possibility of other market caps opening up, and no one's in them. No matter what the it is, that's a good investment. If it's a good thing, and it's got a stability in the market that it's in already, which in Europe,
Yeah.
man, they got like 20 dealers in 8 countries for crystallized osmium. It's the upper echelon, richer people are buying the crap out of it in jewelry form. And then I just I added everything that everyone I hear online says. Buy assets, do things to gain value. And, I just put it all together in my head and said, okay, so if I buy one of those and I put it in a piece of jewelry, it's going to jump in value. And it's a one-off, which makes it jump in value more. I'm like, holy shit, this sounds like a real good investment, man. Let me jump on it.
Yeah.
And I have. Because I mean, I love platinum. Don't get me wrong, I still love platinum. But this opportunity is a great money-making opportunity.
Yep. I think so too. Let's zoom in
I
even
think
a little more here. So this is now we're going to chart. We all know that Bitcoin had a massive run recently. So I'm just cherry picking the point, its most recent peak versus platinum versus silver versus gold. So there you go, Neil. This chart, at least in the last few minutes, definitely proves your theory about platinum being much less volatile than crypto. And I think most people
Mm-hmm.
realize that too. And
And that's again, and the only reason I mention that is I'm not trying to like sell people and stuff. I'm just, my experience and what I went through trying to learn everything about platinum. I received nothing but naysayers from the Priam peoples on platinum, and the biggest excuse was it's too volatile. That I do remember clearly. Everyone was telling me, "Oh, it's too volatile. It's too volatile," and no one was looking at it. And I was like, "Whoa, hold on, whoa, whoa, whoa! Are y'all believing a bunch of shit? And now you're believing your own shit, and it's not real?" I think so, and apparently I'm right.
come on, constitutional stacker, are you serious? I thought for sure you'd have.
I heard he sold everything for this pinball fucking machine because he wants to be a pinball wizard, but
Okay,
that's
so I'm
just
just not up
hearsay.
on current. I'm not up on current events then.
Well, no, that's
Okay,
current. I'm spreading shit. That's a lie. I'm messing with him.
okay. Who
He's
knows?
a good friend of mine.
Right on. Hey, Chad, good to see you. Yeah, gold kilos.
Oh
I
my
get
god.
I get a little bit leery about getting anything bigger than 10 ounce, but
For
yeah,
liquidation
definitely
reasons?
$1 million. $1 million is enough to, you could definitely get one, right?
Well, you're looking at about 75,000 per kilo.
Could get
Around
100.
there.
Yeah.
32 ounces
So
times 2 is 64
you get
plus.
10 of them.
Oh, 10 of them, yeah. I wouldn't get that many. I'd
No,
invest in
you only
a placer mine up in fucking Alaska and dig it out of the ground for half a third, a tip for that price.
yeah. I
See, that's
like
another thing like that business wise. If you're looking at gold and you do have $1 million, well, why would you want to invest it just in something that's already been put out of the ground where for about $500,000 you can buy a whole bunch of acres that's already been drilled and guaranteed there's a certain number of ounces and you just have to pay the miners to get it out, called placer mining, and all the equipment's already up there from other people. It's just you can get in and quadruple your money for half the price. But that's how I look at it. What's up, Indy?
good to see you, Indy. Welcome in. We're just shooting the breeze here. That little ticker that I've got scrolling along the bottom should fairly nicely explain the charting that we're doing here. I didn't add platinum in the title because, I just never know if Neil's gonna be kicking ass. But yeah, by not having platinum in there, might have actually been trolling him a bit. And so, what do we do? So right now
Yep.
we're just looking at very, very, very short term. Um, this chart is just going back to March 13th, which was the most recent peak for Bitcoin. And so right now it's off about 13.8% from its high. Platinum is down about 4.28% from the same period of time. Gold's down about 0.3. And you know what, guys? Silver's up 2.24. But like so many financial experts and people that are smart, they'll say, well, JM or anybody, you can pick various times to make your case. Um, and so just to be fair to everybody, now I'm going to zoom out a bit. We've been zoomed in for a bit. Let's zoom out a little more. So this is going back to February of this year. And again, it looks like platinum is the value buy.
All the way across.
Yeah.
Buy silver, platinum, and crystallized osmium.
Okay. So let's zoom out even a little bit more because I know like I'm going to get some crypto people that'll watch this and I want to make sure I'm being fair um, to all three. Um, plus platinum, right?
Yes.
Don't forget platinum.
Well, now, I'm not a crypto naysayer. There are some crypto out there that I could almost guarantee you will make it past the halving that Bitcoin is going to have by this. That's why it's going up right now. Actually, I think it was in November. It's supposed to have its actual halving, and its price will go up until then and it'll start falling. But for example, About 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, there was like 300 crypto. Now there's 10,300. You see why people call it Ponzi. Because there's 10,000 Ponzi's out there trying to, make some money, and stupid people buy into it. But there are crypto that have made it through these halvings all the way through. They're the ones that'll be through this halving as well when the other 10,000 fall apart. You can't make as much money on them as you can these fake ones, and that's what people get all excited about, the fake ones. But there are some good ones, and they're actually not crypto because they have government contracts, and that would be like XLM, Algo, ADA. These are all on crypto markets, but I can guarantee you they're going to be around because, well, Algo and XLM have contracts with the Treasury Department to help make Fed coin. And that's how I know they're going to do better than XRP, because, if you're going to compete against the government, who's going to do better, the government or your competitors? Well, XLM and Algo are with the government, and XRP is against it. So choose wisely. And ADA has a contract with the Ethiopian government's educational system to track students for future loans based off of, and it's a good principle. It's based off of tracking their development in school as to see who has the most potential, and they base their credit off of who has the most potential based off of their schooling. And I was very interested in that when we were doing that. But they have a government contract, and the fact they have government contracts means that they're not cryptocurrency, because cryptocurrency is decentralized and unregulated. If you have contracts with the government, you are not decentralized and you are highly regulated. So I don't even know why they're on the crypto charts, but they're still on the crypto charts, and that's how I know they'll still be there after all this stuff goes down.
We got Chad says we've got an incoming comet that we're going to be able to see with our naked eye.
Let me put my glasses on. I don't want to be offended.
Yeah, we can get a lot of them. So let's. Can you guys hear that music? I'm trying to have a little bit of.
It's light and in the background.
It's not too bad.
No, not at all. Barely distinguishable, but you beat and rhythm.
I'm glad that you were nicely embedded in the crypto community there, because.
I wasn't nicely embedded. They were calling me the GOAT, bro, because I was telling them which ones were going to go up, which ones are going to go down. They were like, "Damn, Neil's the GOAT." And then I started doing more research, and well, that's how I ended up in precious metals. Because after I got through all the bullshit hype, I was like, well, fuck, everything's leading me to silver, and everything led me to silver. All my research, that as soon as I got deep dives into the crypto and all of their logic that they use, I think different than most people. If you use one logic on one thing and you want to bring it over to another, use the same logic. If you're gonna evaluate them, you have to use the same logic for each of them. You can't change logics, because then you're not gonna have, in my opinion, a good assessment. And when I applied that logic to the cryptos and then to the silver, they even started making memes for me. The meme I have with the ape that says, it's got the golden eyes and the banana and the gold wrap chain. It says, "Keep your bananas." The crypto community made that meme for me because I was going so much into silver.
It's good to see.
And then they kicked me out.
Let's address Snakebite's comment here. I would say you want to get your 1 ounce rounds first. And it just depends how much money you have and how much of a stock you think you're going to build up. But I would say before getting any 10 ounce bars, make sure you got at least 10 1 ounce rounds or coins or bars.
Hey, nickel.
So I kind of like the idea of having a ratio of maybe 10 1 ounce for every 10 ounce. But again, it really depends. I've got a fair amount of 5 ounce bars too, and I like some of the 2 ounce rounds. But the 1 ounce are so nice because they're already divided up for you. What do you think, Neil?
Oh wow, I have in-depth, varyingly different opinions on that. Obviously, it depends on where you're coming from, but my personal opinion is I wanted, when I first got in, I wanted what I wanted and I bought it. And I liked the Michael's Shield and the higher priced numismatics, and I liked it. So I bought them. I was working, I had the money, it was no big deal. Now that I'm not working, I have a total different perspective on it. So it all depends on where you're coming from. And what I see coming, a lot of people will be like, well, I don't have that much money. So I would suggest probably 5 ounce so you can save on premium for size, and liquidation still a little easier. And then if you're really concerned about geopolitical issues with the economy, I would look to get some sovereign coins. And not just the sovereign coins in the country that you're in, like here in America, you can get the Eagle. But I mean, look who our neighbors are. You've got the Canadian maple, which opens up all of the English coins because Canada will accept all of those as sovereign. And then you look at Mexico for their coin, the Libertad. And so, you got actually a variety you can get depending on what your one is. If you go sovereign's going to be the thing, because we're still going to have to deal with Canada and Mexico. So to have their sovereign coins, I don't see as a bad deal. But as far as value-wise for new stackers, I'd say rounds first off to get some weight up, and 5 ounce little bars just to get some weight up. So, and till you get comfortable with 30, 40 ounces, and then go into different facets from that base. Where should you go depending on where the economy is at the time you ask me that question, and your personal economy.
And hey there, Nicole. And if anyone else wants to join the panel, I'm on Restream here, which is similar to StreamYard. I'm not actually sure how many guests I can have, but feel free to pop on up if you want to join the conversation. I'm going to zoom out even a little further now, or quite a bit further here, just to give the perspective. So I think that's right around.
Great advantage to having Bitcoin over the years if you had hold power, but if you have that kind of hold power, you'd also have metals.
Yeah, obviously anyone that got in the beginning is doing really well, but lots of people were buying in these most recent rallies, and
this is different perceptions. And I'm going to give a personal story of a friend of mine. Actually, he just happenstantially, because Bitcoin did change what it was to what it is now. Several things. He had to get Bitcoin to use to get some certain product from these certain people in this certain area about 13, 12, 15 years ago when it was like $18 a Bitcoin. So he purchased a whole bunch of them to get this stuff that he had to get from these certain people, and he had leftover. And when he quit doing that business, he always takes his computers and cell phones and snatches them, files them under that company, and goes on to doing something else. So like 10 years after that, which was about 3 years ago, right at the top of Bitcoin, actually, last halving, his daughter reminded him he had some because he forgot that he had it. But see, this is the thing right here. It was 10 years. He wasn't looking. He wasn't keep looking at it saying, oh, well, I got this, look at this. He didn't have that want and need. He just bought it and forgot they even owned it because he wasn't buying it for financial gain. He bought it for some other reason. And then he was reminded he had it, and he sold 20 of them at $40,000 a piece that he bought for $18. So, if you look at it in that light, but see, you can't look at it as, it's not really an investment at that point in time. It's more like a, inheritable type of wealth scenario or thought process. Because if you'd have bought it at 18, you'd have to wait 10 years. Well, your personal economic situation over 10 years can shift big time, and you might need to sell and whatever. But if you're every day looking at it, being told, oh, it's going up, it's going down, then you instantaneously have the want and need to buy and sell, and then you lose your ass. But if you look at it as the way it's going right now, yeah, I could see it probably hitting $1 million in 12 years, and that won't be nothing. I mean, that'll be 100-fold what the precious metals will do. But do you have the hold power to hold it that long? Can you guarantee that in those 10 years you're going to be economically stable, and looking at our economic conditions, to do that, to take that kind of risk? So it's in my version. If you ain't going to buy it for 10 years, don't even look at it. It's too volatile.
Well, and yeah, you've got to be prepared for this type of drop, right? Where it can drop like 15%.
Well, and if you know in advance that you're going to buy it in 10 years, why are you looking at it? 10 years hasn't passed. You know what I'm saying? So there's no reason to age yourself, stress yourself out, make yourself double guess. Stick with your original investment principle when investing, and you most likely will never lose. It's when people change the perspectives of the investing principles in the middle of the investing that they tend to make mistakes, errors, or missed calls, whatever you want to call it. You just got to stick with your principles when you buy something. Like silver. I've changed my principles. I was, buy, sell, buy, sell. When I first got in this, I gave away about 120 ounces when I decided to change it because I didn't know what to do. So I gave all my numismatics away to people who would appreciate them, and I sold the rest. And I restarted with the principle of be your own bank, and I tried that for several months. I kind of liked it. But now I've gone to a principle if I want to hold about 60 ounces and then get up enough to be my to where I can follow two of my principles at once, but I don't think the economy is going to allow me at that point. But see, investment principles change as our lives change as well. So there's a lot of things that can cause the retail to lose money on investment, where corporations don't have the same issues that we have to make those mistakes or life choices. That's why retail.
Hey, Nickel, welcome.
Can y'all hear me?
Welcome up, Nickel.
Is Nickel here? I
Sound
can hear
good.
him.
How are you?
Yeah. Now, is my mic working good?
What's that, Nickel? I can't hear you.
Yep. Yeah, Neil's messing with you.
Yeah.
Okay, this system you're using, is this free?
Yep.
It is?
And unlimited hours.
Ah,
Unlimited hours.
really?
Yeah.
I think I should switch off and do this then.
It looks
doing
pretty
the other.
nice. One thing I've been trying to figure out is how to change my screen to where my face, my what you guys see.
Oh, that's right, because we're on a different platform. It's exactly the same way, man. You just go into the little gear on the bottom right,
Oh, okay.
and then it'll say virtual background, and then you just upload your virtual backgrounds.
No, I see it.
So just so you know, Nickel, it's not exactly like StreamYard. You may find you got to go through a bit of a learning curve with it, but the fact that you're already familiar with StreamYard will put you well ahead of anyone that's just trying this first.
Oh yeah, I see my pool.
It took maybe an extra hour or 3 to just become really comfortable with it. So if someone cannot hold at least a small savings account long term, they should not go deep on metal, or they'll end up selling for want or another. Yep.
100%, Tom. 100%. It's a mindset when you get into investing as to trading or day trading or options trading. I mean, it's so complicated, man. If it's not a lifestyle for you, just hold. It'll go up.
Yeah,
Don't-
I think people panic. Panic, like with silver.
Yes, that's the thing. It's psychology. To beat the psychology of the game, don't let your psychology get in the game. When you come to the determination that you're going to make an investment, first look up the word, apparently, because a lot of people have issues with what that word is. But if you find out that it means long term, then when you buy it, stick it in a box and put an alarm clock on it to go off in 10 years and don't think about it. That's an investment. That's the Warren Buffett strategy, that all these real rich people who actually hold their wealth through these times, that's their strategy. Buy early, hold long. That's the simplest of strategies. Well, choose well. Yeah. Buy early and hold for long.
So why is Bitcoin?
So here's
why is Bitcoin tailing off all of a sudden?
Oh, there's several speculative reasons for why it is.
I think it's just because it ran up so much before. Look at how much it ran up.
Well, hold on a second here. You can't discount this at all, man. What's the newest technology everyone's scared of on the computers?
CBDCs.
No, AI. Okay, they already had computer trading, and actually Ninja. That's why I was quite impressed with him today on his live stream that was on. I was moderating before I came over here. He did a very well explained process of how it works. the computers will have these like stop losses or something. And I can't, please don't hold me to this because I don't really know this stuff. But basically, you got computers out there that do buy stops, stop losses, and all this other stuff. And if you have, like, say there's a group of us three, we are all 100 millionaires, and we want it to go up or down. All we need to do is get together and talk, do some buying, set some algorithms up on the computers to when we're buying too much, it'll kind of pull the rug to drop the price to make everyone start selling so we could actually buy it cheaper. That's how easy it is with its unregulated system. And that's one reason why it's also so volatile, because it's highly manipulated. That's why we have regulations in the stock market, or else, and actually they've been stripped mostly because it seems like the stocks are going crazy anyhow. But you're not allowed to. You shouldn't be allowed to have a system where a few people have enough money to buy up enough to move the market in one direction or another, because then they can short or long it and 10 times their money. And it's like what JP Morgan's doing and everyone's bitching about, but pretty much daily on Bitcoin. Okay, so that's how corrupt that is.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think that's what's going on with Bitcoin. I think it's just a few people.
Yeah. And that's why we need to
Yeah.
start talking to these Bitcoin bankrupt people. And I bet you they'll have a different explanation of what Bitcoin is. They'll be like, yeah, we saw this, then all of a sudden. And most of them will say, then all of a sudden. And if you get about 1,000 people saying on different times, different days, and they all went bankrupt, then all of a sudden it ended, that's fucking manipulation. And then you look at what it is, and then you see these computers, and you have these computers, and it is a no-brainer, man. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. I mean, yeah, for long term, it's definitely going up, but it's only going up because it's going to bankrupt a lot of people getting there. And that's personally a moral issue I have with it that I don't have with the Christians.
It's a trap.
Well, it's a trap that's going to make other people money, and it could make you money if you play the game well enough. You do get rewarded, but you have to play the game. And that's a demoralizing game, which takes, and everyone even says this, even I've heard a lot of people say this is a religious war going on. Okay, well then, there you go. That's another issue I have with it. It strips your morality, for the love of money, the root of all evil. So that's more of why I don't invest in it, but that's a moral position on my part.
I think the main reason if you want to look at it as an investment, is speculative. But like you said earlier, the number one driver in inflow of cash was actually for black market trades. Yeah. Hey, John Beathy, good to see you.
Hey, what's up, John?
I'm going to be right back. I'll be back in 2 or 3 minutes.
Sorry for running my mouth too so long, but that was my thoughts on Bitcoin.
No, I don't trust it.
But yet you can still make money, and that's where you will always have people saying, buy it. And then you'll also have the Ponzi people saying, well, it can only go on if people keep buying it. But then the love of money, which is the root of all evil, steps in, and you want to buy it to make money, because eventually it will go up, and our system, which obviously isn't a godly one, will reward it, and it will go up, and you can make money off of it. But we've never lived in a godly system here on earth. This is earth, not heaven. So, you have to put that in consideration when you're buying as well, for, your family and the sake of your family. If you could buy $10,000 of it now and hold it for 10 years, you're probably going to be able to pay off your house and your kids' houses. So is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? It all comes down to, what are you going to use the money for?
Well, I always know when constitutional, when it's gone down, because they'll generally say, oh man, when he talks to me, I'll go, uh-oh, Bitcoin went down. Yeah,
and that's what will cause you gray hairs, man, worrying about the day-to-day, because look at that chart in our eyes right now. The black thing, yeah, we're seeing abstractly a downward, upward, downward. When you scope in on that, that's fucking chaos. Now, if you're trying to track that daily, okay, you know what chaos breeds? Chaos breeds chaos. So what's your life going to look like after a little while? Kind of chaotic? That's because you bred yourself around dealing with chaos every day. That's why I say don't worry about the short term on something. If you're making an investment and it's an investment, don't look at it for the short term. It's an investment. Investments are long term.
Correct. Because when I bought into silver, it was my first buy was $4.95 an ounce. My second was $4. And now look
Oh,
how
man,
much,
that's not what
look
I
how
heard.
much I'm up. And
I heard you bought,
I stayed with it.
I heard you bought your first ounce at 5 cents back in 1842.
You must have been taught the Constitutional.
We do chat. Yeah, that's what John was stating. John Beathy, prophecy made in crypto. He transferred over silver, and that's again, hate to bring it back up, but he said it at this live stream I was just on with Ninja. He said that's what he's going to do. He says, yes, I got Bitcoin. Yes, I understand what it is, but I'm going to show you people how to make money off of it, because I'm going to take and I'm going to sell at a certain point, and I'll even and he's walking people through how to. He's actually doing an admirable job of trying to show people how to make money on it, and get by their morality, and do exactly what John Beatty is doing. Take your profits from the Bitcoin and turn it into tangible assets. But the problem is, people have a problem with selling before it goes people have a problem with selling as it goes up, because they'd stop thinking about what their initial investment, there's that word again, investment was. And they say, okay, well, I had 1,000 in it. Now it's 10,000, but it's going to be 20. Well, once it hits 10,000, take 5 out. You got 4 times plus your investment out. Now, who cares what it does? You got your money back to do other things like buy silver.
I would have sold it at $100 if I'd have bought in at 2 a piece. I would have sold it at probably at 50 or 100.
And that's, again, everyone's perspective is different due to their own life and economical situation. And that's why it's hard to find someone in these economic times that can invest for a 5 or a 10-year time period without being forced to sell because of economics, or their kid got thrown in jail and need bail money. Lots of things. Kids going to college, need surgery. So many things happen over a 10-year time scale that can throw off the smaller investor from forcing them to sell. And that's where that's the retail. And then you've got the bigger investors, the corporations. They don't have those issues, and that's why they always win in investing, because they don't have the life issues that the retail investor has, because we're too small and too poor. But if you can get by all that shit, yes, you can do well. You can increase your family wealth generation over generation.
Well, when it comes to silver, I was in it when I bought that. I thought it would immediately start to go up, and it actually went down even lower. It took forever to get to 10, and I didn't give in and sell, and I stuck with it. And now I will be rewarded, because it's probably never going to go back below 15 at this point. So I will.
Yeah, doubtful. Very, very doubtful.
So it does play if you stay with it. And another thing too is how much money people put into it. If you put too much in, then you're going to put yourself in that bind that you're going to have to make a decision and maybe get out.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I say a lot of people don't even have the money to really invest nowadays, because we've all been taught to live a lifestyle of overabundance. Spend all you have, not spend within your means. And there's a difference. A lot of people spend every month, spend all they have on the car or the house, the fake millionaires, basically.
Yeah, if you buy now and you keep it for 30 years, you're gonna profit from it. Silver.
Oh, most definitely.
Because, like I said, I went through that stage. I went through the same thing.
Well, if you want to, if you take a long-term outlook at it, what Bitcoin's going through is what all the precious metals will go through. Supposedly they say Bitcoin's going to be mined out to where there's no more going to be made. Well, at that point in time, you're not going to have these having every 4 years bumps that we're going through now. So that's an unforeseen, uncharted thing that's going to supposedly happen for Bitcoin. But isn't silver going to run out? Isn't platinum going to run out? So should you not expect the same volatility of action towards the last 10 years before they run out? Basically, Bitcoin is the metals fucking 10 times the speed of sound.
And the only different thing is that metals are actually used, so that makes a difference on how it's priced. So therefore, you can't really make anything with Bitcoin. So that's the difference there. You know, with Bitcoin, it's all runs up or down, and then with metals, there's a lot of controls put into that and the trading of it, and that affects what the price.
Yeah, regulation against deregulation. One of these assets we're talking about, or three of them are regulated, and one of these speculative assets is not regulated. Again, the chart shows which ones are which. The regulated ones seem
One
pretty.
thing I wanted to, I just wanted to mention, Nickel, is I think not so long ago you said you don't think we'll ever see 14 again for silver price.
Well, let me say, if we have a depression, yeah. If we don't have a depression, I don't think it'll go below 15 again.
Okay. And I think even in the event of a depression, I think it's still unlikely that it really would go that low, other than, what do you call it, like a flash crash, like we saw in 2020. And with that in mind, it would not, I'm not saying it's probable, but I'm just going to say it would not at all surprise me if we actually even saw it go down to $1 or $2 for a short period of time, traded on the derivatives, because we already saw oil go down negative pricing, and if derivatives can do that to oil, they can do that to anything that's being traded in.
Oh yeah,
in my opinion.
Well, if it goes to 2, how much are y'all buying? If it gets to $2 an ounce,
you're not going to be able to buy any.
Oh, you mean they'll stop trade? Yeah.
Well, not only
it's the same as we saw. Let's go back to. I'll show you what I mean. Going back to 2020. Let's go back to 2020. There's 2020, and we're just going to take Bitcoin out right now because it makes it. It's done so well. It makes it more difficult to see. But here's that crash we're talking about. In fact, we'll even remove gold. And sorry, Neil, I'm going to remove platinum for a second. And then, so there you go, right? And it was at this point, I believe, where silver actually dropped. What was it, down to about? I think it was around 11
something.
Right
yeah,
at that point.
But that was just the charted drop, and it was there for such a short period of time. It didn't give time for the coin shops to reevaluate the prices before it jumped back up to a more reasonable number.
Yeah, it was only the paper.
Yeah, exactly.
The physical metal was not trading at that.
Well, also, you can never anticipate that they would. You have to put yourself in the place of the coin shop people. If you're buying a product at 25 and then, for 2 minutes out of one part of the day it drops to $2, are you going to really sell it, or are you just going to lock your doors and say not buying right now and open up in an hour?
That's a possibility.
Right. No coin shops can.
No coin shops can sell it that. They bought it at 25.
The only people that
do. No one's going to do that.
My theory's always been there'll end up being 2 prices for silver. You'll have the price they say it is, and then you'll have a physical price of what it actually is. And so even if they say it dropped to 2, you wouldn't be able to get it for that anyway. So they'll sell it. I just think they'll be selling it like $10 an ounce or something if you want it.
Yeah,
which will be a heck of a buy. That'd be a heck of a deal. At 10 an ounce.
I don't think many coin shops will be open that day.
And I'm with you on that, John, too. Right? We've seen a lot of the exchanges go belly up, and the people that had their cryptos on those exchanges burned big time. Well, that's great. I'm glad that you got in it earlier and you made some profit on it. That's the number one reason to get Bitcoin is to speculate.
Yeah, I totally agree. I also say watch out because there is hacking that goes on, and there's nothing you can do if you get hacked.
Well, if you get dementia and you can't remember your password for your wallet.
That's totally different story. Actually, the story I told of my friend across the street who had Bitcoin, he didn't recall the password for that phone, and he had to tell someone he'd give him a couple of those Bitcoin if they broke into his own phone that he had like several years ago that he'd forgotten the password for. I think he gave guy 2 Bitcoin to break into his phone computer, using computer shit.
That's cool, and I can
However
see that
they
too.
do it, I
know,
don't know how they do it.
People with dementia, can forget where they put parts of their stock too, and they can forget what it's worth.
Here's the odd
you could end up seeing them spend.
I was going through my Facebook just today. I was going through some of my older Facebook posts, and one of them, I think from 2017, said something to the effect of, by 2025, there'll be 1 million people in England that have dementia. It's funny what you just mentioned. So by next year, there's going to be 1 million people have dementia. So if they have Bitcoin, you got a point.
Yeah, it's just too volatile for me. I like that silver. It's moderate. It doesn't go like skyrocket up, and it doesn't really skyrocket down. I kind of like that because I feel like I'm controlling my trade. So I kind of like the fact it doesn't do all that. So
this is why I don't invest in it. I think, and this is only my personal perspective, not for anyone else to agree. You can disagree, I don't care. I think if there's frequencies in this universe. Every life form has a frequency, and you can adjust it a little bit here, there, whatever. And if it's within your possibilities to be wealthy, you will be. If it's meant to be, if those things correlate and line up for you in your lifespan, and the way you and it kind of goes back to a religious thing, because there's verses in the Bible that go back for generations, as well as blessings. So there's a religious aspect to this too. And I've always had the moral aspect of investing, that I don't want to make money off bad things, because I don't think good things will come of that money, basically. I mean, you might make a lot of money, but I don't think in the long run good things won't come of it, because I think tied to the physical money is a moral obligation.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Kind of like karma, in a way.
Yeah, but yet there's also an economics in it, because if you get like real rich or like Scrooge McDucky and swimming in your Olympic-sized swimming pool with half the gold in the world, and only half the world only has the rest of the half, because you own half of it, then you cause problems. Innately, you will cause problems. And I go back to a story of what, if you guys do enough historical research, there's this African king from Timbuktu, I think it was, in Africa. And he was so freaking wealthy. He was like, in today's dollars, he was worth trillions. They said and it's historically documented, every city he visited, he caused hyperinflation, because he brought so much gold and silver and wealth with him, and traded with that everyone just went ludicrous on their prices, and no one could afford it except for him and his entourage. So that every city he went to, he caused hyperinflation. So to have one person have too much money does cause problems and destroy societies. So yeah, there's a moral. My personal belief is there's a moral backing to money. You have a moral obligation with it. But I'm weird.
No, it makes sense. Like, you wouldn't want to be buying even metals if you knew that it was mined by people in like some of those mines you were showing, where like a third of the people that are digging the holes are falling in and dying.
Yeah. Thank you for watching my shit, by the way, Jay.
Like, at the end of the day, though, gold is gold, and who knows? Any of the gold that any of us have,
it's all been melted down once or twice.
Yeah, it could have been used for very, very bad purposes in the past. You
Just think how many people found treasure and melted it down because they didn't want to deal with the government.
Yeah.
I'd lose. I personally, if I came across 300 Spanish doubloons, had historical value inside a state, I'd melt the shit down and just take the silver or gold value, because I would get more that way than the headache I would deal in turning that shit in and everyone taking me to court saying they owned it even though I found it on public land or whatever the scenario might be. You know, the amount of sharks out there that would take from you doesn't even make it worth fucking telling anybody. Just melt it down, and then you got your discovery. You got a profit off of it.
Yeah, same thing with the storage units. You bid on one and you find gold, don't tell nobody,
Exactly.
or you'll get taxed to death on it.
Uh-huh.
Hey, just for fun there, Nickel. The purple line, which you may not be able to see easy in there, is now the price of nickel being charted against them as well. Let's go a little bit longer so you can maybe see it. But the purple is nickel.
Oh, okay. It's above gold.
Yeah.
It's above gold for the last part of that chart.
And it has...
It's above all the metals.
It looks like it's, you know, relatively similar volatility. I think it's only being priced a couple times a day, you know, rather than by the minute. But that's kind of cool to see that on there too. I did that just for you, Nickel.
There's substance in nickels buying nickel.
Yeah. I think it's still probably the best buy out there, really. If the EV stuff goes through, which I'm not sure it's going to. So.
No, EV's going, it's going to drop big time. And that's another reason why I've said all along the past couple of years that the Chinese Communist Party is dead. It's going to go away because they make 75% of all EV vehicles. So if that industry gets cut in half, that's going to just be another nail in the coffin for the Chinese economy.
But if it does go through, there's going to be a lot of auto workers in the United States laid off over it.
Well, there's going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot more laid off if and actually, Nickel, you should watch my shows. The number one automaker in China that makes EVs is going bankrupt, and before they're going bankrupt, what they're going to do is they already laid everyone off. They're buying robots to replace them, and they're refitting their factories right now. So when they actually probably do go bankrupt, because they won't be around long enough to catch a profit margin from the robots because of the expense of them and adding them to their production lines, our auto manufacturing products people will buy those robots for pennies on the dollar that are brand new from the Chinese car manufacturers, retrofit them to work on making our cars, and it's going to cost our automakers assembly line people lose their jobs. That's what I see. It'll automate our whole manufacturing line for cars, and the whole industry will go away as far as for human employment.
And John could be right, because think about it. You bust the nickel, and then look what they'll be able to get that for, or get the price for it to use it.
Well, so, you just got to look at platinum. If my theory is right, my new theory that I've as the information gain, I change theories, and I've changed my theory on the reason why platinum is down is it's not the economic war against America. Actually, I think because of China's attitudes and what they've actually physically done to other countries, bankrupting them through loans. I think they've done the same thing to South Africa and made some sort of trade or treaty agreement with them several years ago that South Africa bought into, and now they have to pay up in platinum, and they are economically starved, which China intentionally did so they can get a maximum amount of platinum for the cheapest price.
And that'll affect Canada too. Don't want the nickel price affect Canada? Is that the number one metal they produce?
Canada? I don't know about nickel. That's your metal, brother. I have not researched it.
Well, JM's Canadian. I think that's their number one metal.
Yeah, JM, you know all about Canada. What's the geography of the whole fucking country, you Canadian?
Well, I'll tell you right now, like Sudbury, Ontario, which is just north of me, is considered one of the largest nickel producing areas in the world.
I didn't know that.
So they do. I don't know that it's, you know, our number one metal. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if iron, you know, or even copper and some of the other
got a
other
lot of
metals
palladium.
that we produce more of those. But I know for sure, when you look at where nickel is produced, Canada has some of the largest producing nickel mines.
I'm surprised they
the
haven't
world.
found any platinum in any of the nickel mines, because the only reason Russia is producing platinum, and they're actually
They do.
second largest. Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah, but it's similar to like gold and silver. They're going for the gold.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a
and
byproduct.
even where they're finding the nickel. And that's right. So the copper and silver and nickel and iron and all these other elements are in
It's
there
just
too.
like
but
osmium.
I think in most cases,
They're just trying to maximize the
Mhm.
use of all of the metals that they extract while going for whatever they're going for.
Yeah, how long does it take to charge an EV today?
It all depends on how cold it is.
depends. Well, it depends where you're charging it, right? If you go to a charging station, I think they call it like a quick charge. It'll give you something like an 80% charge in maybe 2 or 3 hours. But if you're doing like more of a trickle charge, which is what people have
Their house.
installed at their house, I believe it can take easily 24 hours.
So
don't quote me on it, but
you'll need at least two.
those ranges.
You'll need 2 EV vehicles, huh?
Well, then you got to look at how much is the expense of that electricity that you're using to fill that car up over gas.
That's right. I think it actually
It's
it
worse.
evens out pretty close now.
It's worse. Electricity's going up too.
Oh yeah, I think electricity will be higher. Yeah. And do they still catch on fire? They were catching on fire left and right.
Oh yeah, they still are.
It's the batteries.
In China.
The batteries do. In fact, Toronto has just banned certain e-bikes, like the little electric powered bicycles and little scooters and stuff. People were putting them on the front of the transit buses on the outskirts of Toronto and going into downtown Toronto so that they could do like Uber and all these different delivery things. And they were having problems with these electrical bikes, the e-bikes, catching fire on the buses.
Sweet.
So
just wait.
It is a major concern.
Just wait until the environmentalists are allowed to protest lithium mining.
You remember those skateboards? They were catching on fire.
Here's some irrelevant fun facts that you might not care to know about. The technology of the hoverboard or the hovercraft, like we saw in the original Star Wars, that car they had that hovered, there was actually a skateboard invented during the time, and I think they used the prototype or tested the prototype in Back to the Future 1 when the guy was on the hoverboard that went over the water. They actually, I think, tested letting him use it, but the insurance companies, the technology was out, and they actually had those kind of hoverboards, skateboards out, but the insurance companies wouldn't cover anyone who manufactured and sold it to the public, so the technology went away. In that use case, anyhow.
I understand what John's saying now. I thought he meant that, like, how do you charge them up? He wants to know how much a gas station, well, not a gas station, an electric station, I guess, is going to charge for you to go there and charge it up. So it'd be by the minute, wouldn't it?
They can't do that. They don't have the technology. You'd have to stay at that gas station for about 2 hours for an electric vehicle.
Well, they do. They've got charging stations, and you pay with debit or credit. And I think it's based on the watts, like the kilowatts that you suck out of the charging station.
So like what's on your house, the term,
could be right.
what electricity you're using.
Good night, Laura.
Have a good night, Laura. Yeah, like on your house, they give you a totally separate unit. I don't know if you get a separate electricity bill for that, like whether it's an actual separate power supply like that, or if it just gets added on to your existing.
I would think it gets added on.
There's a study the Japanese turned out that no one has been talking about as far as EV things go. And the reason why the Japanese are not on board, because the whole reason we started with EVs was to get off the oil thing, because this carbon credit thing, whatever. And the Japanese were never on board with going 100% EV because they saw the math of it. So they developed other technologies. Those other technologies are available now, and everyone realizes that their principle of how to get people off percentage-wise and lower carbon emissions is not to offer one alternative, but to offer 2 or 3 alternatives to combustion engines, which means different types of hybrids. And that's going to be now accepted as the norm, just as EV acceptance was starting to be accepted as the norm. So we're going to have probably in the next 2 to 3 years, the ease and convenience of being able to determine whether we want a gas combustion engine, an electric engine, hydrogen, biodiesel engine, pure hydrogen. There's going to be several power plants that we're going to have options of going for. And the Japanese study was, if you give people option of only one choice to get off of the other thing that you want them off, you will get a certain percentage over a certain period of time. If you offer them 3 or 4 choices, you'll get less percentage of people with each one of those choices, but the more choices is the bigger percentage off of whatever it is you want, and you get more of the result that you want. And for like 10 or 15 years, we've been working off the American principle, and that's why Elon Musk made it to billionaire status. And the Japanese were totally against that principle because they knew their math was right, and it's been proven it's right. And now we're going to be shifting over to where we have 3 or 4 different power packs to choose from for vehicles here in the near future. Then that also runs into why China is dropping the price intentionally on South Africa platinum, because they're developing and building one of those technologically changing power plants for cars. It's interesting how it all ties in together.
Yeah, it does. And C4 was saying people go shopping while they charge, and it's true. I even see the charging stations, for example, at hotels, like they are starting to pop up. But the mechanics that I've spoken with say it's crap. There's no way they're going to be able to roll the EVs out though. Especially if you have any electrical problems with it, there's very, very few technicians that are qualified to work on them.
That's another issue. The availability of servicing of these newer technology power plants you'll have a choice of options for. And that's where I have a unique perspective that all these business people don't have. I'm an iron worker. We're going to be building the plants these people are going to be using. And they tell us in advance if you're high enough up in echelon of your union, you get to know work that's coming up years in advance. And for that to happen, these contracts have to be signed. For that to happen, these technologies have to be already worked on. So when I get their information, it's still early, but other people, the billionaires, have already invested in it, and it's late when it gets to retail. But we've got 4 power plants, hydrogen power plants that are going to be built in the Bay Area by, I think it's Shell and Phillips 66. And I think Chevron. And then Chevron also has a contract to build 30 hydrogen fueling stations just in California on top of the ones I think we got 30 or so now. So everything's on the fueling stations end is going to more than double the areas that you can get the hydrogen fuel in hydrogen fuel cars, which we don't have right now, is going to double. And we're going to have 4 hydrogen power plants built in Northern California, 2 of which I know where the locations are. So something's going to happen in the hydrogen power plant fueling arena. I can guarantee you that.
That's really, really exciting, actually.
Yeah, funny thing is, when I was talking
to Crawler, good to see.
Sorry.
No, I was just saying hi to Red Crawler.
Hey, Red Crawler. I was talking to James Anderson. He was telling me in Europe they're like 4 times as advanced in the hydrogen fuel cell charging stations in Europe as we are here in California. California's very close to America, so America's way behind. So there's a lot of investment opportunity, obviously, to be made.
The one other problem with EVs, of course, is most countries' electric grid cannot handle it. They don't have the infrastructure in place. And my understanding is it's going to take a long time. Like even in the United States of America, it's going to take a long time for those power grids to be upgraded to handle all these charging stations being full of electric vehicles and everyone charging their EVs at home. Like, wow.
And that's the funny thing about the electric. You just tapped on the charging stations there, and I want to talk about that. You find out how they get their electricity. and actually what EV is pushing is the use of more oil. Until we change our, unless we go into nuclear or something all of a sudden.
Well, I think that nuclear power plants are the way to go.
Oh, most definitely. You've heard me.
Certainly better than coal.
I push the SMRs. Sorry, I'm medicating. I push the small modular reactors. That's why I follow Rolls-Royce. They're developing one. I talk about it with Nico on the show. They are going to be
every developing country needs oil, and they need coal.
They need a nuclear power plant. And oddly enough, Burkina Faso's getting Russia's building them a nuclear power plant. And Egypt, they're building 2 in Egypt. Actually, they'll be finished next year, believe it or not. Egypt's going to have 2 nuclear power plants running their country. That's why they didn't go to war with Ethiopia over the Nile Kurd River Dam, because Russia stepped in. They had 2 projects that were halted years ago to build nuclear power plants. And Russia stepped in and say, we'll finish those off for you. That'll get you the extra power you're looking for from the water that you're not getting. And Egypt said, all right.
Well, the new plants are built a lot better than the old plants.
Unless they're built by people who built Chernobyl.
Well, they're a lot more safety stuff, and
that's
thicker.
Why
it's a lot better. It's a lot different today when they build one than they did then.
Okay, and this goes to my point when people say, well, America shouldn't be in that country. Okay, well, check this out. If we were in Burkina Faso right now, we would be building that nuclear power plant. And as I just mentioned, who do you want to be building these nuclear power plants? The people that build Chernobyl or us? Because you're voting for fucking them when you're telling us to move out. That's all I'm saying. And what's going to be worse, a nuclear power plant going bad in Central Africa because other country was responsible for building it? How fucked up will that be? That affects the whole world. So there's long-term vision when we go into places that people don't think about. That's why America's in places where you don't think we should be. One of many reasons.
Yeah, Tom, and I actually lived pretty close to one on Lake Huron here in Canada called the Bruce nuclear plant. And man, does that ever employ a lot of people making good money that are working there.
Hell yeah, and it's very safe. You want to know why? Because they followed OSHA and ANSI regulations when they build them. The Russians don't. You know what the Russians did? Actually, last year, they 3 out of 4, they're trying for this new rocket engine. That's a nuclear rocket engine. It's not a nuclear warhead on a rocket, but the engine itself is a nuclear engine, which is freaking totally cool if you think about it, and terrifying. But they test fired 4 of them last year, and 3 of them blew up. And what that means is they had 3 nuclear explosions in Russia last year, helping global warming. So should we tax them? Oh, and did it make the news? The 4th one they recovered without it exploding. Any of you guys hear anything about that?
I did not hear anything about that until just now.
I can tell you probably why they're building them too. It goes back to why everyone makes fun of me. Space mining. It takes so long to move around in space. The first person to come up with a nuclear-powered rocket engine is going to be the first one to be mining asteroids, because they'll get there and back with equipment and everything else quicker, safer, and reusable. That's what Elon Musk is going for, reusability. He just needs the engines. Well, it looks like the Russians are working on the engines on a longer term scale of looking at things that is, like 20 years.
I think Constitutional Stacker is spreading rumors about nickel.
Oh, is he in here? He just sent me something on Facebook.
Yeah.
He's hitting you all over, man. Poke, 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 poke.
Well, he missed the Bitcoin
Nickel roast
discussion.
Bitcoin.
He missed the Bitcoin discussion. He probably would wanted to talk about that. So,
Well,
yeah.
since we did mention his name and using him as an example several times, it would have been nice if he was here for sure.
Yeah, I know it. I almost feel guilty.
I don't. Of course, I'll laugh at my friends when they break their arms and tell them they're dumbass as I'm driving them to the hospital.
He just said he bought more gold. I bet you it was fractional, which is the way to go, I think. For the simple reason is the premiums on those, it's not a big a deal at the way it's going up and where it's probably going to end. So it's not as big a deal with that. That's why.
I don't have a problem with people buying gold, but in particular, Constitutional, I have a problem with him buying gold because of where he lives and the amount of money he's going to spend on whatever gold he buys. If he just spends some time gaining knowledge of geography and mineral shit in the area he's at, whatever that word's called, and spend some money on a metal detector, he could probably get 10 times the amount of gold for free after he gets his money back from spending the money to buy the metal detector just because of where he lives. And that's why I don't buy gold, because he knows where I live, and within a couple 100 miles where I live, I could find gold. But now if you're like Indiana, well, buy gold.
A huge state. You know, when Bob Knight was still living and coaching, they would say, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? I used to make him so mad. He would go over to the other coach, tell the people to cut that out. He go, I got no control over this crowd. You know, it was funny.
And Constitutional, towards that statement he made, Ninja was he's explained to people on his live stream today on the process of what you just did. He's trying to explain to people on his channel. He's doing that as well, taking his profits, turning around, buying silver, gold, stuff like that, and he's walking people through it, and that's where I'm gaining a better respect for the Ninja, because he gave me a better explanation on his show today, because I seen him eyeball his screen when I put in some of the statements I put in, and then tonight's live stream, he did well enough an explanation for me to back off heckling him on the Bitcoin thing.
Yeah, that's what Constitutional's doing. He's using one thing to get.
Yeah, no, and that's what you use a speculative, but see, it's a proper mindset. It goes back to investing. If you're investing, that's 10, 20 years. Invest, think like that, then put it in the cabinet, forget about it for however long. If you're doing a speculative investment or trading or day trading or options or whatever, all these other things, there's different perspectives to follow. And people always mix those up, and that's why people always lose money. You got to keep them separate. And if you're doing Bitcoin like Constitutional is, which he has the discipline to be able to do, not a lot of people can, because you get caught up in the FOMO, the price action, the greed, and everything else, and you lose perspective on your investment strategy for that particular, whatever you want to call it, investment, speculative investment, trade, whatever your word is for it. And you have to keep them. I'm not against making money. I'm against people being stupid and crossing their thought processes over from what they know to, oh my God, let me do this. That's where people fuck up and lose money. And it's historical. People in retail lose money all the time. There's not too many people like Constitutional or Ninja out there that'll do that type of thing, because you get caught up in the greed and telling people, yeah, I bought it at 20, it's now at 60, and you forget to sell, and then you're like, holy shit, it's 20 again, it's now 16, I'm losing money, fuck, I'm gonna sell. And that's the typical what I hear, instead of, hey, I sold. You know what I just heard from Constitutional? Hey, I sold. Fucking right on, brother, that's what you're supposed to do. He's the first person I hear who's like, yeah, I sold and I bought this, and then I still have it because I took it, that was my profit, and I still have the original investment. Fucking right on, bro. That's what you're supposed to do, man.
Yeah, he'll be okay. He'll be okay until Mrs. Constitutional walks by one day and he goes, "Woohoo! Look at that!" And then at that point, money will be going for different things. Watch it. You know he's gonna answer that.
You gotta keep the mindset specific for the thing that you're doing at that time, and keep the mindset of that, and don't apply a different mindset to that. That's the biggest point. If you can do that, you'll succeed.
I wonder who Constitutional. I wonder who his best man will be. I guess it'll be Cigars. I guess.
What, are you guys getting married?
Very good. No, he'll end up getting married before it's over. Cigars will fly in to be his best man.
Happens, that statement he just did says that there's going to be and pun intended, gold digger coming around.
You should be more than glad to take his gold.
The more gold you have, the more chance of a digger coming along.
I guess I could fly in and be ahead of the rice. So
I'll be head of security. He's got so much damn fucking platinum. You need security, Constitutional. I'm trained. I got the resume, bro.
His
technology.
His security is he uses Smith & Wesson. That's his security.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Well, it depends, I guess, where you live. I like out in the country. I actually like this, and they're only. Hi, Kalam. Ooh, that's a good name.
Hey, Kamama.
Ham.
No, it's Kamama.
He's from Hawaii.
Kamama. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Kamama. I'm sorry about that.
She's known as Butterfly. Kamumu or Kamama.
And she's from Hawaii.
Hey, just tell her we've been smoking Pocalola.
I don't think she's from Hawaii. She'll let us know.
Oh, okay.
But I know that her name, she'll tell us. Her name means butterfly, though.
Right on.
And she's an awesome person, too. Great to see you.
It's Cherokee.
Right?
You're wrong.
So what are you going to do? What are you going to do, JM, when they pass that law? Have they passed the law on hate speech in Canada?
I don't even know.
Misty.
Like, honestly, I try to ignore all the mainstream media as much as possible, but it's getting bad. But I was even thinking of doing a live stream on hate speech, because you could take any debate or any issue and play either side as expressing hate speech.
Yep.
For example, let's say I like a certain concept, and so therefore you accuse me of having hate speech against that position. Well, I could take a person that has the opposite position and say, well, you're expressing hate speech against my position. It's
exactly.
Hey, Misty. Good to see you too.
You have to prove intent, and that's hard to do on the first case. But on the backlash case, it's easier. So it's a trap in reality.
But it's how you use a word. So if they say specific words are bad, it's how you use them. So, there's people that curse and they're not mad.
But now they're saying crimes are being committed that were based. It was a hate crime. So now there's hate speech and hate crime. Well,
Good night, John.
I think, and this would probably resonate with you. One person's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter, right?
Yeah.
It just depends what side of the line you're on.
And then if you go even further, each one of those people could be manipulated to take that point of view.
Well, I know this. If Canada does that, the U.S. will do it. There's no doubt in my mind it will be coming here. So
I think they use Canada as a test market, like when the Democrats are in power.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get too political, but I think when the Democrats are in power, that's more left wing. Canada tends to be politically more left wing, and I think they're in cahoots. They test it out on many different populations around the world before they bring it home to the States, in my opinion.
And you remember the truckers what they did to them. United States helped with that. So
well, and right now, what is it? The Dutch people, the people in Europe there that are Dutch, their farmers are undergoing massive restrictions and fees and increases and all sorts of, the ESG.
Just get off politics.
And I see them doing that as a test. They're testing them.
Everybody knows
Have a good
politics.
night, John. Yeah, I don't really want to get it. And I'm not really that knowledgeable on politics either because I don't keep up with it. I just keep up with it enough to kind of get a pulse. Oh, Neil's providing the ASMR here right now.
What's that? I'm breaking in some Girl Scout.
yeah, Neil could eat. He could go into a candy store, eat every bit of it, and he wouldn't gain 1 ounce.
Yeah, everyone's different. Everyone's different. So is our perspectives. Become as informed as possible from your perspective. Gain that knowledge and share it with others, and gain their perspectives. And keep learning. Find out if you do that as a living, this place will be a great place to live.
Yeah, and my condolences again, Kamama. I know time there recently. So during this very live stream, we've seen Bitcoin outperforming gold, silver, and platinum, and then underperforming it, and then outperforming it again.
Yeah. That's the stuff. That's what's wrong with Bitcoin. That's why I don't want to be in it. It just goes crazy and then sinks, and I just don't want to have anything to do with it. I'll let Constitution get ulcers from that.
And that goes to perspectives and the reasons for getting into things as being a base for, are you going to make money in it? So Bitcoin is not for everybody at all. No. Precious metals is.
Everybody, once they've got their other bases covered, right? Like I look at gold, silver, and even platinum, as physical metal that you can buy once you've got all your other bases covered. And then Bitcoin, I see nothing wrong with people having a tiny little bit in there if they want to speculate. But I sure wouldn't be going head over heels into it now like I know some people are. Because when we look at the charts there, like it is high. It's, if you believe in buying low and selling high.
Do a Fibonacci on that on Bitcoin right now.
Technically, you should be selling. Right? You'd be selling here and here and here. You'd even be buying here potentially. And here. But just for full disclosure, I've never bought any Bitcoin. I know several people that did speculate and, they did well with it. But most of them have cashed out again now, right?
I had 5,000 Satoshi at one time.
Oh.
I've got a few of some, I don't even know what it is. It's on PayPal. And I just went ahead and let them do it in a crypto on there. But I didn't have much in it. I probably don't own but maybe one share or whatever you call it. One
Satoshi.
I don't know what it is. I can't even remember what they use. There's two that you can use on PayPal. There's two they deal with, and you can pay through them and whatever. So I don't even know, but I bet you it probably went way up. I probably tripled whatever money I had.
Now
I never check it.
Here is something, and I'm not advocating for anything, but if what is coming indeed does come, and it's possible that BTC is to retrace between 60 to 80%, as a speculative investment at that point in time, unlike with the metals, if the metals like say silver were to fall to 12 or 16 or whatever, you wouldn't be able to go physically in and buy it, or even probably online at that price, because they wouldn't want to get rid of it, because they lose too much money. Well, on Bitcoin, it's not like that. When you buy it, you actually buy it, and the person actually loses that money right then and there. So the advantage you have to make money, or your fiat currency, it is going to be good if you are into that kind of thing here when the crash does, or the correction occurs. But that's not investment advice. It's just, if you want to do like what Constitutional did and get a couple ounces of platinum, some silver, some gold off of an investment and still have the investment, that time might be coming up for Bitcoin.
But I must be honest. I don't like gold a lot. I think it's overrated, but I did buy some gold today. I got, it's 10 karat, it's 14 karat gold jewelry. And I got it for a heck of a deal. I think I got it for 50% of the value or something. So I will do that, but I'm not going to pay for the gold rounds right now or a bar. So
Yeah. Well, and that's fine if you're buying at a discount like that. That's just makes smart business sense. What do you got there, Neil? Are you trying to show us something?
No, I'm just my cat's attacking me, so I just wanted to show that to everybody.
That's Neil's future home after the
Osmium
comes in for him. That's going to be his future home right there. It's got a pool and everything.
Nope. Too close to other people. If I have to have a fence that tall, it means there's someone too close to me. I want to have several hundred.
Well, I think, Nickel, you've got one too. Do you know, Nickel, how to change your virtual background?
Yeah, I've done it, and I guess I was too close to the computer or something, and it didn't work. It had me, like, showed part of me and not all of me, and it was weird looking. Looked like some science fiction movie. Looked like the thing in Star Trek, when they got in there to transport. Looked like a transporter, except gone bad.
Yeah. Okay. That's because you don't have a green screen.
Oh.
Like,
or you're ugly.
Right now. Let's see if we can do this. I'm just going to do a test here for a second. There we go. So there's mine. So it probably looked kind of like that, and kind of like when Neil was trying to show his cat, right?
Well, no, you're doing better than I did. Really? I mean, the people watching the live hated it. And I go, well, I'll get it off, and I had to stop and get it off. So.
Well, your way to do it, Nickel, is cover the camera, and then it comes in perfectly clear. Like, here, I'll show you again, and that's what Neil's doing there too. So I'll make Neil full screen. So he's got the camera covered with that as a visual background. But if Neil uncovers the camera, then he'll appear in it.
Hold on, let me get there.
Red Crawler's going to flee the U.S. I don't know. Where are you going to go, Red Crawler? If you flee the U.S., where are you going? Where is it to go? Where is it for Americans to really go to? I don't think there's any place for us to go.
Well, he's good.
Solar-powered catamaran.
Oh, look, a white bee.
Yep.
Yoda.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, Neil's playing.
I'm enjoying the features. Actually, I'm adding stuff because this is the first time I've been on this thing. So I'm hoping it keeps them saved, so I don't have to keep re-adding them.
Well, I guess it
should, but it might.
I guess the U.S. could get so bad that Mexico looks good. I don't know.
Nah, you'll be fine in America, bro. If it's that bad here, you don't want to be anywhere else. Water world, yeah, Tom.
Oh, red crawlers like me.
Oh my goodness.
I may end up like him. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a home in the Philippines for the winter.
You know, you like the 18-year-old part of that.
No, well, no, I wouldn't go that young. I don't think. I don't have the energy.
One of my
That'd be an early.
one of my friends' dads. Yeah, one of my friends' dad did that. Thailand. He went and got a wife in Thailand, significantly younger. And man, you know, they were just in love for years. And then he started going downhill physically because he was twice her age. And just as he was getting close to being on his deathbed, she had him go in and change his will.
Of course.
Put everything, his entire estate to her. Knocked out all the kids, all the grandkids, everything. All the kids, all the grandkids got nothing. And this lady from Thailand got all of it.
Yep, it happens. But then again, she should get something because she was the wife. So
she should have got something, but not everything.
People
not
are
all.
responsible.
Did he have kids? Did he have kids?
Oh yeah. Yep, he had like 3 kids.
Yeah, they got ripped.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Constitutional.
My friend he's really pissed off.
Yeah, see, Constitution went through
Hey there,
that.
Boltonator. Good to see you.
Yeah, Constitution knows what you're talking about. He went through that. He was one of the kids. So
it happens.
Yeah.
Seems like it happens more than we want to talk about because it happens.
Anyone here that doesn't
make your own way? Don't count on it.
anyone here that doesn't know Boltonator?
what was that?
Boltonator.
Just saying, anyone here that doesn't know Boltonator, he's a good guy, and he loves heavy metal music. He's got a heavy metal music channel, and he's been in several heavy metal bands.
Right on. And
he's been a pretty decent supporter of my channel too. I don't know if he's a stacker, but I'm sure he's right into the Constitution.
Well, maybe we can talk him into getting some silver.
Constitution.
I think I think you'd get along with him, Neil.
I get along with everybody.
Quite
After
well.
I get to know you, if I figure out you're an asshole or not.
Yeah, we did a video. We did a live.
Well, I appreciate that.
We did a live with Constitutional and Just Stack It. We did one on trying to protect your metals in relationships. We did a whole live on that. Didn't get many people to watch it. I thought it was different. Nobody had talked about it, and it didn't go over too well. So.
I can't imagine that, Nickel.
Well, my Depression and Gold video live, nobody, I think I only got 33 views. I thought that was one of the better ones I've done. So, you know, the ones that you do that you think, oh man, I did pretty good on that, they don't do anything. So, the ones you don't think, you say, oh man, that was kind of stupid. That was kind of stupid, or it didn't turn out the way I wanted it. That's the ones that get more views. You go, I don't understand that.
I find that a lot too, Nickel. The videos that I put the most work into tend to get the least love. And the stupid shorts videos that I put minimal effort into are the ones that take.
Yeah, shorts for the win, baby. Shorts for the win.
I'm not going to complain, but yeah, it's frustrating for a lot of people. And, you know, Constitutional Stacker was, you know, expressing frustration with YouTube earlier too. It's I think you got to look at it as an endurance game. don't look at it as something you're going to make money off of. You know, unless you're fully committed to it, like a full-time job, and even then, you know, it's probably not going to be easy.
Don't
It's
bitch
a
if
lot more
power
difficult
goes
than I
out.
thought. And hey,
Well-
Boltnader, if you want to come up on the panel, you're welcome to join us too. If you want to say hi to the guys. We're mainly
Maybe we
mainly
can
talking
buy
about
some silver and platinum.
yeah, we're mainly talking about precious metals and Bitcoin. And actually, like originally, I was thinking I'd name the title of this the three antithesis, you know, antithesis of fiat currency, because so many people that are in Bitcoin, gold, silver, they're doing it. They're doing it because they're hoping
Right on.
or thinking that it will be a hedge against their currency.
Right.
And so in a lot of ways, you know, people that are into crypto, you know, they've got a similar fundamental belief, and that is that, you know, the fiat currency is not backed by anything, so we got to get something else in there.
And it
We
makes
need to have something to protect it against that.
it's funny because they say the dollar's not backed by anything, but what's Bitcoin backed by?
Electricity.
Yeah, that's what I hear. They say it's electricity, but I've never been able to figure out it's not backed by that, because if it goes to zero, what are you going to do? They're going to give you some electricity? No.
Yeah.
In fact, electricity is the problem with it, because in order to mine more, it requires electricity, and in order to trade it, it requires electricity. Oh,
but back to-
sorry, Bo,
but-
I never pinned it.
Back to the point you made, JM, when you said it's in relation to the dollar, you are right. And the people complain about metals, say that it doesn't keep up with inflation. I will argue gold has. Gold is overachieved in my book.
I have something to say. I'm in 100% agreement with Red Crawler. He said BTC is backed by the government. In my explanation of Tether, 100% is tied to the government or the dollar 1-to-1, and BTC is tied 1-to-1 with Tether. So that does mean that BTC is backed by the government, or the dollar part of the government, the Fed, not the government, the Fed.
So yeah, but I think that was a great statement you made a while ago about in reaction to what the dollar does, not so much inflation.
Yep.
And the people make a big deal over that. And one reason why silver doesn't keep up with inflation, and it hasn't, is because it's so controlled. And that's why. If you left it open wide and said free trade, it would stay in step with inflation, I believe. But I believe it's so controlled, that's why it doesn't. And gold is not as controlled as much as silver, so therefore it has been able to.
And
well, and I can provide a proof on that. The proof on that is that when you buy constitutional, I don't like calling it junk or scrap silver. I like calling it constitutional silver. Right now, in order to buy it, it's going to be about 18 times face value.
Yeah.
So that is proof. Okay, hold on. We got Boltnader in the house. Just so you know, Boltnader, this is similar to StreamYard. It's not exactly, but welcome to the panel.
Welcome.
Boltnader.
Is he on mute?
He may just be
trying to figure
He
out
might be
his
muted.
system.
Yeah, it's a little different than StreamYard. He'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I
We got.
think
you on
I'm
the
going to
panel
download
now,
this and start using it. I think
This
I'm
is a
going
nice.
to.
Yeah, there's some good features with Restream. The number one is that it's unlimited streaming. And just so you know, Boltnader, we do not hear you yet. We do not hear you yet, but welcome in.
Yeah, don't call constitutional
Right, good
junk.
point, Constitution.
Well,
You're a junkyard dog. He's a junkyard dog.
constitutional slacker is junk. Constitutional metals is not. Still no volume.
Alternator, where are you? We do not hear you at all.
I'll be right back.
Yep, no worries.
Because I was on the wrong fucking setting. It had me on virtual voice mod.
Okay. I hear you now, though.
Hola.
How's it going?
Not too bad, man. Just got back from bowling with the wife. Hey, did you
Nice.
know I finally got freaking monetized on the fucking YouTube?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Congratulations.
That shocked me, man. I was like, okay. I don't know if you dummies know what you're doing, but thank you.
Yeah, I was thinking about it too. I was like, man, like Bolton, there's a lot of F-bombs and a lot of stuff that I would have thought is not really advertiser friendly. But hey, like you got the viewers, you got the subscribers, you got the watch time, and you're putting out a lot of effort too. Neil and Nickel Stacker, who are on the panel with us, also have excellent channels. And they're definitely trying to grow their channel too. But out of the four of us, you're the only one that's monetized. So congratulations again.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys haven't. Is it watch hours you're working on right now?
What does it look like?
Look, no, have you
Yeah.
checked your
Yeah.
your requirements? Because you got like what over
Yep.
6,000 subscribers.
Yeah, and
Almost
you
double
know,
mine.
a lot of those, but a lot of them don't really watch, right? And you know what that's like. So it's tough to get the
Yeah.
view hours up there. But that's fine. Like I'm not really in any rush to monetize. I kind of have a bit of a fantasy, you know, that maybe 5-10 years from now I can semi-retire or retire and, you know, have some supplemented income through YouTube. But at the
I'm
same
not
time, the
expecting to make
censorship is
money off of it, really.
Yeah. Well, you might though.
Well, if it pays
might.
for like my StreamYard and my editing software, I'd be super happy. But aside from that, it's still all
Like,
for
right now.
spreading the word and having some fun.
Right now, I'm thinking like I'm seeing a lot of people that aren't monetized directly through YouTube, just advertising their Cash App, their PayPal, Venmo, and all these other things, and they're getting support that way.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's probably way easier.
When I first started the channel, my theme was funny memes daily review, and I would do that in there, put it in there, and people would help me out, send me a little bit here, a little bit there, and occasionally something psycho. I'm like, did you mean to send this? They don't tend to do that on the music shows though.
No. And like I've mentioned a few times, I pick up a lot of subscribers from the shorts videos. I've never got a new subscriber on a live stream. And in fact, frequently I lose a couple subscribers when I live stream.
You know,
Now Nickel Stacker, who's up here, on the other hand, I've noticed has had some outstanding live stream performances. But he's kind of like my channel too, in that it's a variety that picks up on a lot of different topics, and he got into the sports. I'll let Nickel talk on it a bit too, on how that happened.
Yeah, I started doing a different show on Monday nights called Roundtable Current Events in Clown World. It's talking about all the crazy crap that's going on,
Yep.
the political drama and all the retarded social drama.
Yeah.
I go to Rumble too when I stream on Wednesdays, Constitutional.
yeah, I found the trick to subscribers.
But your main.
Go ahead.
Okay. No, you go ahead.
Hmm.
What's the trick?
Well, my trick that got me from 300 to 4,400 almost in like a tenth of the time, is shorts. Like right now, today, and I'm just another experiment I'm doing to myself. I turned out like I don't know, 8 kitty cat shorts, 9 kitty cat shorts. I'll probably get like 16,000 views, and I'll go to my channel right now, and none of this is for my geopolitical, because I can guarantee you, I have less than 500 people wanting geopolitical shit from me. But let's see, go to analytics. Okay, my, what is this? Views are 37.8K more than usual. Watch time is 262.2 more than usual. And subscribers is 79 more than usual. I don't know if they do those weekly or monthly, but ever since I started throwing out more shorts to get, and it's all in, I think, numbers for algorithms. I got over 2,500 shorts for the kitty cat thing going, and I'm at like 4,300 subscribers, when if I was just stayed with geopolitical, platinum, and silver, I'd probably have about 600-700.
When I remember to do the short,
that's the other thing.
Get like between 2,000 and maybe 10 or 12,000 hits.
Well, I don't do anything. I'm unlike anyone else apparently. I don't care about making. I mean, eventually it'll make me something, I'm sure, but that's not why I'm in it for. It's all about perspective. There's other reasons why I'm doing this that have nothing to do with YouTube, other than its audience or number of people you can reach with whatever it is you're doing. You know, everyone says, "Oh, watch out, we're having psyops. We're having psyops." Well, this is how I started out. I started out saying 3 words: buy silver and platinum. And I said it for 2 years, and so many people got interested in platinum for me just saying those 2 words. They're 3 words. So there's a psychology and psyops to everything. It just depends on your perspective, how long-term a goal you have, and what your goal is.
It's a good catch. Good tagline. And the other thing, of course, is Independent Many recently got monetized as well.
Oh, right on.
I love her live streams. She's one of those people that has live streams and has fantastic group of people in there. I think pretty much everyone here knows her, but worthwhile congratulating her again too.
Yeah, I've been hoping to attract a bunch of different people on the Monday shows than just my normal musicians, if you would. I want to get everybody's perspective in there. I don't care if I agree or disagree with you. I just want people to come in and show their opinions, talk about subjects.
Yep. And you're more than welcome to tell the crew here a little bit. Like, I know you love supporting the independent heavy metal artists.
Oh yeah.
In your local area.
Well, it's not even just local area. It's just that because those are the people I know, those are usually the ones that respond to me the most. But there is a crap load of bands in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so I'm never on a shortage. But yeah, I get on there and I promote independent artists, bands, and if you have shows coming up, I'll put up your flyers and promote the show, where it is, etc., what date. Just to help the community, because it's sometimes it's rough out there. They're struggling out there, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, check out
what are they?
Check out Indie After Dark.
Starving Earth.
Indie After Dark, I know that one.
Yeah, she's in here.
Yeah, it's really cool to see the community growing from various different sort of sectors, subjects. And Red Crawler was saying Uncle Sal was the key to finding good people. And so he's referring specifically within the precious metals community. And I agree too. He's weeded out a lot of people, and not everybody agrees with him, but the one thing I agree for sure is he takes a moderated approach. He's not pumping, he's not shilling, he's just telling stuff the way he sees it. So you get a nice balanced sort of perspective. And he focuses on gold, silver, platinum, and then really all metal. He loves all metals, and he loves heavy metal too, by the way, Boltonator.
I saw that in the previous
Salivate
message.
metal.
Actually, I need to pay attention to that a little bit, because I do need to educate myself better and keep up with precious metals and cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sal has like 10 different kinds of metals, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, including osmium.
Oh, hold on, wait.
Including Ozzy.
And he's got palladium. You know, he had
Osmium.
like 12 ounces of palladium. And he didn't sell when it got to what? What did he get to? It got to what? 3,400? He didn't sell. And when rhodium got to 30,000, he didn't sell. So that mind boggles me.
I have
But
thought.
that shows his buy and hold mindset. He's not speculating. He's buy and hold.
That's
From what I see. Anyway.
Did you not get a Christmas card from him this year, Constitutional?
Well, Sal's very, very opinionated, especially when it comes, to some subjects, and he gets very passionate about it. And so, sometimes, people say, "See you later. I can't handle it anymore," and he'll say, "Well, that's fine. Good riddance." But the point there is, you know what you got. You know what you got. He's consistent.
He's pro-constitution, and pro state rights, and he leans right. And some people don't like that. Yeah. So.
Unfortunately, in a perfect world, everybody's opinion would be their own, and you would share them with each other and not get pissed off at people because they don't think like you, which unfortunately seems to be a mindset these days.
That's because we let personal feelings into everything we do. If we kept it more about just what we're doing and keep feelings out, we'll find out we get along more than not.
That's kind of how I'm trying to gear my Monday show. That's why I'm saying, it doesn't matter if you're liberal, progressive, conservative, Republican, Democrat. I love for everybody to get in there and have a good conversation. Because that's the problem. We're being fed from all these quote-unquote news feeds, and they're basically brainwashing us. We're not getting the whole story no matter where you fucking go. Pardon my F-bomb.
Division. No, they're pushing division. I see divide and conquer being playing out.
That's the perspective they're coming from and selling right now. It's all about perspective. You're intelligent enough to see that everything is a perspective, that you get to choose yours from the information you get. None of this shit will bother you. You'll analyze it and come up with your own perspective from whatever information you get, and realizing what it is and is not bullshit. And no, it shouldn't affect you what others say, because it's irrelevant.
Yeah, they're words.
Exactly. You just take what they say, you analyze it, you sort it out. This goes in the bullshit pile, this goes in the whatever pile, and I'll take this little tidbit for being semi-factual, and you add it with everything else, and then you come up with your own perspective and your own opinion. It shouldn't bother you when people say things like that, because it's everyone's always going to say things. So by letting that bother you, you're going to have a life of constantly being bothered by what others say. So simplify everything, including, what you allow other people to think or allow the way you accept what other people say about you, or what they say about something you're into or anything like that. Just take it as it's their perspective, and you're going to grow and enrich your life by seeing and knowing other perspectives, agree with them or not. That is how we will all get along. Oh my God, 79's here. Everyone be quiet.
Unfortunately, I think that happens, and the younger the crowd it gets.
That's Gandalf, if you can hear the meowing.
Does anybody have a link for Sal? Saul?
Yeah, Indy posted it, but I can post it again. I'll post it. Might take me a minute. Indy's quick. She's fast. But the other thing I noticed is
I could probably scroll up and find it. Is it Salivate Metal?
yep.
Oh, sorry, I see what 79 just said.
Yep,
Oh,
it
was
is.
70.
Salivate Metals.
Hey, Cola, good to see you. Okay, so there, Independent Many just posted again. Thanks so much, Indy. You're awesome. I thought 79 was going to post his link. What did I miss? What did I miss? I was on.
I got a case of the giggles right now. Sorry.
That's all right. Laughter's a good medicine.
Well, you know, it's all about
So-
perspective. I don't let nothing bother you.
Yeah, so for anyone that's just getting here, what we've been doing is charting short-term, medium-term, and long-term prices of gold, silver, and now platinum as well, and Bitcoin. And we're looking pretty short-term right now, and then we're talking fairly generally now. We went specifically on the metals, and we've been going on streaming about 2 hours now, so we're kind of opening up the subject to kind of whatever you want to chat about, but I'm going to leave the charts up because it can be exciting.
Oh yeah, and that's micro. Look at the charts.
Yeah, we'll look longer term now. We'll print her out. I'm actually surprised we didn't get any Bitcoin pumpers in here, or like
Yeah.
really strong crypto advocates because of the title. But we may have got some lurkers, and I think we've had a pretty well balanced
I've
discussion. Like,
seen no.
I'm not a hater.
Yeah, I've seen no reason for anyone to be negative towards or pro or con anything. It's all, like I said, we've been just sharing perspectives and knowledge. You know, that's how we get to the truth. No one can hate on that.
That's right, and I'd rather bring people together rather than pushing a wedge further in where I already see division, being pushed.
I need to up the percent.
Oh, Constitutional is a poker channel.
Constitutional starting crap.
So do you guys believe that crypto and whatnot is better to have more of that in your portfolio than stocks?
That's a personal thing, man,
Yeah.
and I would suggest lots of research, because, and then be careful of your perspective when purchasing anything, and make sure that if your perspective means that you have to stay on top of that trade, then stay on top of that trade because it happens fast and you can measure it.
I've been burned before. I don't know if anybody remembers a company called MCI, a telephone company a long time ago.
Yeah, I've never been into it.
Yeah, my first venture in, I was like, I'm going to buy stock. MCI is huge. I bought it 2 weeks later. It all dropped to a penny. I lost my ass.
Dang.
Bottomed out.
Hey, Mike Herrera, good to see you.
Mike's here.
Good to see you. I'm just switching the music here. I've only got limited music I can easily play. You may not even be able to hear it, but it's just very subtle in the background.
I can hear it. Very, very light ambiance.
Can you?
Like white noise.
Yeah, I'd play some heavy metal, but
Good to see you too, Mike.
I'll let you guys check out Old Nader's channel for your heavy metal fix. He's got tons of it on his channel.
I've
It's
had
always good to
stocks.
see you, Mike, and everyone.
I've had stocks. I've had stocks that triple split negative. So talking about getting whopped, that does it.
Yeah, I think that gold should be your number one thing, in my opinion, for anyone that's ultra wealthy. because you can pack so much value in such a small mobile area, even in the event of no electricity and no internet. So that's why I like gold first.
Physically, right?
Um,
Jam,
Yep.
I mean physical.
Coins, bars, round.
Because there's those companies that market it,
Yes.
but they hold on to it. You know what?
Paper is paper. If you don't have it in your hands, you don't really own it, no matter what it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't trust those places.
Yeah,
Hold it in your hands. Hold it in your hands.
I did good with Caterpillar. I will admit that one I banked on, but most of the others, some of them broke even, and then some of them you took losses. But most of them were the penny stocks I took losses in. I just kind of gambled on them, and they didn't do well.
Yep.
One of them I was forced to sell. You know, the publisher company. What was the name of the girl that got kidnapped and was robbing banks? I can't think of the family name. Anyway, I had the stocks in that, and they went private, and so I had to sell whatever it was that they had, at the price they were at. I didn't get to keep that very long.
Dang.
Who's the girl that got kidnapped by a gang, and then who? You don't remember that in the 70s? She got kidnapped, and her family is the one that were moguls in the newspapers and publications and all. I cannot think of their name. I cannot think of her name right now. And anyway, I got into that because I said, well, that's a pretty good company. I mean, Hearst.
Hello, Elizabeth.
Yeah, I got into that, and then they just said they just cut out the investor out and went private. So
I saw Miss D hiding up in there.
yeah, Patty Hearst. Yeah, the Hearst. Yep, the Hearst fortune. 79 got it right.
Okay.
Look at her.
She was probably one of Nichols'
Yeah, and Ms.
longevity history class.
Yeah, I was born in the 70s, so. At first, I thought you were going to talk about SVB, Silicon Valley.
We might have to keep it
But yeah, Bolt Maynard, I would say
Oh, Lord have mercy.
the Bitcoin.
Sorry.
That's okay. I was just going to say, I think Bitcoin should just be a very, very small percentage of someone's
Portfolio.
cash that they want to speculate with. You know, like if you're good at trading, it'd be good for that. And I'm showing this chart here. I'll go even longer term. You know, I don't believe in buying high unless you're confident it's just going to keep melting up. But
In my portfolio, the Bitcoin is very low. It's like 1% or less.
okay, yeah. Well, I could even see a 2 or 3%, and of course, anyone that got in way back when is going to say, "Well, look, Jam, it's made 10,000%," and in the same period of time, gold only was up 64%, silver was only up 30%, and platinum was down 13%. Which I think is it's crazy to see that it's gone up that much, because to me it's just thin air. But it's thin air you can make money on it if you're savvy, right?
Yeah.
And I don't really think anyone should be going head over heels on any of these things unless they've already got, you're already out of debt, you got your preps are all in place, you got lots of food and storage and water, and everything that you need to survive in the short term. To me, your gold and silver are nice to carry through pretty much anything that occurs because you can have it physically in your hands, and platinum to a lesser extent. Sorry, Neil. The Bitcoin is just pure speculation, in my opinion.
Yeah, in a way, we're very lucky they got rid of the gold standard, or you wouldn't be able to own that shit.
Why? Oh, okay. Yeah, like that's right. The average person probably wouldn't be able to get an ounce of gold.
They weren't allowed to. It was illegal. You would get your ass arrested because you were basically, they considered it stealing from the government. And I believe we can thank Taft for that bullshit.
I think the main reason they removed gold standard was because it limited their ability to print cash.
To steal our wealth.
As long as the cash is,
exactly.
If you've got a $50 banknote and you can trade that in for a $50 gold coin, they're going to run out of them, and same with the silver too. So that's what they've done now, is they've said, oh, sorry, now you cannot convert your fiat dollars into silver dollars and gold coins. It's not convertible anymore. So that was the great theft, in my opinion.
I think it's great that people are sharing what they know about the history of economics and money and other things about it. Because the more you know, the more informed a decision you can make on your personal perspective on things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our goal,
like right now,
is not actually backing our money anymore.
No, it hasn't been since 1971.
Exactly, when they repealed the gold standard.
I see. That's where someone in here, I think it was John Beatty, was saying he thinks that all in particular nations will nationalize their gold and silver mines for a while. And that's possible. But why would they do that? If they do that, what do they get? They get the gold. So if they do that, how would that not benefit the country for long term?
Well, because then the Rockefellers and all the fucking money bank bitches running everything don't get to take over if they went back to gold standard.
Like I said, so what would be the problem with them nationalizing the mines for a year or two to be able to mine the gold and silver we need to back our currency?
I think
it is American gold and silver after all. Why should all of America not get some benefit over a 100-year time period of those mines? Is that not a logical argument to be made? Why are only companies, Wall Street owners, profiting from an American resource that's called money, and not everybody, at least once, anyhow?
My response to that is, we all know that the central banks hold the gold. Well, how did they get it? They got it because originally the currency was backed by gold, so they had to keep getting it and accumulating it so that it could be transferable. But then the trick was that they said, oh, we're off the gold standard now. It's not transferable. And guess what? They continued to hold the gold. So in my opinion, the real answer is the central banks need to send the gold back to the people. It's pointless for them to be hoarding it, because the whole purpose of them hoarding it was to back the currency, and they're not to give us our money back because you stole the gold from us. That's how I look at it.
Different perspectives, and it's going to be interesting to see how the future does indeed unfold. But at least we have each other to talk to as it happens, so we can stay informed from each other's perspectives.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the track I'm seeing, it's going to unfold like a used condom.
Oh my goodness.
If we stay on this track.
I guess I should have rated this stream PG, right?
Oh, I need to shut my mouth, don't I?
Sorry. It's all right. You're okay. But yeah, I hear exactly what you're saying. It doesn't look good.
I just know there's a V-shaped recovery already baked in, so it's all planned. if you can hold on, you'll be better off if you can hold on. Hold on to what? Precious metals, cash, Bitcoin. Not 100% sure which one's the best one to hold on to. But if you've got solid assets and you can hold on to them, you'll be better off in the next year or so.
Totally agree.
And cash too. Like, don't forget, like having a good stack of cash is really important. Like you want to have at least 3 months worth of cash just stashed.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be
because
fucking awesome,
venturing out, buying into these things, and then you have an emergency. You got a couple $1,000 bill, or you've got and you end up having to cash it in, possibly at a loss. You do not want to have that occur. So make sure you got lots of cash stashed first.
Yeah, the basics of economics: full pantry, and cash.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, Elizabeth. Thank you for coming by.
Have a good night, Elizabeth. Good to see you. Great to see everybody here. I was actually only planning on going for maybe an hour or so, and we're already at 2.5. So it's very, very cool.
Hasn't even been a word game.
Yeah, I could have done a word game, but I don't want to wear that out.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
It wasn't a word game.
Yeah. Boltonator, I don't know if you're familiar with it or not. This Restream platform that I'm streaming from here has unlimited hours for free. Just in case you didn't know, because I know StreamYard limits you on the free plan.
What amount of destinations can you have? Like with StreamYard, with the $25 a month one, you can go 3.
3 different platforms?
Yeah, because when I stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble.
Okay. I'm not sure because I'm the only social media I'm on is YouTube. That's it.
Yeah.
But I do see it's got that option. And I'm assuming it'll be similar to StreamYard in that.
I'll have to check it out. Because if it does the same thing and it's free, that's even better.
Yeah, it's not exactly like StreamYard. There's a few things I don't like as much, but there's a few things I like a little bit better. So it's another alternative.
You see how low 79's getting?
That's
call me a Democrat.
Low
blow. Call me a liberal, a Democrat, a socialist.
What's up, Anti? I think it's all in great humor because I'm having great humor out of it. That's why the little chuckle you hear me chuckle is just doing barb after barb after barb.
What the hell?
Good to see
Anti-attack.
He likes razzing me once in a while. Not as bad as 79 razzes Nickel, but he's just joking around. Anti is awesome.
Yeah, I get the guy Fish on that comes in and razzes me.
Yeah. That's funny. He's come onto my live stream every once in a while. He's like, hey, how come you're not over at Boltonators? He'll send me a message. He'll be like, hey, Boltonator misses you. Where have you been?
Oh, he's going to be upset this Wednesday. I'm on a no liquor challenge. I'm not drinking.
Probably good. It's good to flush the liver every once in a while.
Yeah. And who knows, I might make it a mostly permanent thing. But as for right now, I'm doing the 30-day challenge.
Okay.
And for me, that's a big thing considering I drink.
I think you'll be able to. If you can stick with it for a couple weeks, I'm sure you'll start feeling better
Oh
right
yeah,
away. Like you'll sleep
do it.
better.
I've got my
Was that
mind set to
Drinking?
not drinking.
Not drinking. Yeah. Cold turkey.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I did that, and I went from drinking like on the one good weekend night, just one of the 2 good weekend nights. I'd do a gallon of rum by myself.
I've been there on occasion.
That was every weekend, two weekends, 2 days a weekend. So I did two gallons of rum a week. And that wasn't including in between Monday through Friday.
Yeah, my average was about 2 pints a night whiskey.
Yeah, all the good tricks like stick vodka in the freezer so you can drink it like water all day long and shit.
That's quite a bit. That's quite a bit of whiskey.
Yeah, I just cold turkeyed it. When I got to California, there's some things I gave up because I knew what I was coming into when I came to California. Drinking it was one of them because I knew it would make me make bad choices and decisions, and I didn't want to do that in California.
I was very glad to leave California.
And like I said, drinking is one of the things I quit when I came here so I could keep a straight mind and not make stupid decisions in this in particular state. From one of many reasons.
Next thing I need to kick is a cancer stick.
That's a bitch.
You got to give it up sooner or later, right? Question of it's going to be on your terms or not.
Or another.
sooner rather than later, most hopefully. Yeah, I still smoke myself. Constitutional.
This is actually interesting. I kind of thought we were going to see Bitcoin take off again, but it looks like it's actually might be ramping down.
Is Bitcoin the black line?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. So this one now
Color code
is going back to March 14th. Yeah.
Man, I tried Coinbase. I don't like that thing.
Yeah, it's tanking
right now right now in the variety stores, like corner stores, we're getting all these Bitcoin ATM bank machines. Buy Bitcoin here, and I looked at them. The one today I was at, I've noticed it before too, and it's like no fees to buy, no fees to sell. But guess what happens? Is
they make a wallet.
I looked at it. They overvalue the price of it. So they're saying if you're going to buy a Bitcoin, they're going to charge you 20% higher price on it. It's not a fee. It's a ridiculous price on it that they give you.
But do they send it to your personal wallet or something?
I don't know how they do it because I've never bought it. But it definitely looks like a scam to me. And I heard before, for auctions, like say up to $1,000, when you want to use those, it's gonna be a minimum $20 fee. So say you want to cash out $200 in Bitcoin, minimum $20 fee.
Nico.
Have a good night, Constitutional. Good to see you.
Later, CS.
I'm almost due for a 3-minute break here. How are you guys doing? Are you guys still up for another half hour or so?
Sure.
I am. Unfortunately, stopping drinking. I'm having a crappy time sleeping, so I'm good.
Gotcha. A little bit of indica.
Mind is a powerful thing.
I've got that too. I'm just a load of habits.
Okay, so I trust you guys. I'm gonna let you guys take over the show here for 2 or 3 minutes. I'm just going to grab a refill, and I'll be back. I'm going to mute up. Have fun.
My toes. C4, I've already got that going, but it's not putting me to sleep. My brain just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, and that's why you need to program yourself. Learn about that.
That's why I figure after a few days it'll stop being like that. I believe we'll find out. At least
you program your computer. Program it.
Yeah, I just need to retrain it to learn how to be like it was before I was even a drinker, because I didn't used to be a drinker at all. I used to be like,
just start fresh and tell yourself, program your own brain. Like what I do, if I want to wake up at 4 in the morning, I'll tell myself 5-6 times before I go to bed, I'm gonna wake up at 4 in the morning. I'm gonna wake up at 4 in the morning. And because I've been doing stuff like that for so long and programming my brain to listen to me, which is kind of sounds stupid, but you know, if you tell your brain,
because it is our personal computer.
Pretty much, and it's the most powerful computer on the world, so program it properly. It works.
My career, Slayer. And along with the alcohol thing, I'm also on a no sugar diet.
Well, that's fucked up.
No, my weight was fucked up, and it's working.
No, I don't have that problem. So
yeah, I fucking 305. I started at, man.
Holy shit, man! Two of me.
So getting rid of sugar, I'm down to 280, and I think getting rid of alcohol is going to increase that even more.
Yeah, it will. It'll actually get you to want to do things and get you moving around, which will also get rid of more. A lot of good things happen when you quit drinking.
I need to get back to 220 area.
Yeah, shoot for 150 and be happy at 240. You know? That way you're disappointed back, but cool. You know what I'm saying?
I'm too tall of a dude to ever get to fucking 150. When I was 18 showing ribs, I was 189.
Yeah, you guys are not sugar shit. See, I'm hypoglycemic. I have to have sugar or protein.
Yeah, independent. I'm loving it too, but I'm also hating it because, you know, there's so many foods in the world out there that are processed and have hidden sugars. You got to read everything and be so careful. But hey, if you got an objective, you got an objective. And I'm determined.
There you go, man. Eventually you'll forget about drinking and it won't even be a part of your life.
Yeah, drinking used to be the lowest thing in my life. It's kind of funny because in the Marine Corps, of course, everybody's getting shit-faced every night. And I got out of the Marine Corps, I was like, I don't want to touch another beer. And I didn't until I was 45. And then, crazy crap happened. And I was just like, give me that whiskey. And then I had a romance with Kentucky Deluxe for years after.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of alcohol. But to each their own. Everyone figures it out eventually. Or they don't. Not my issue. I don't do it. And that's the important thing for me. And glad that you've just chose to make that decision as well, because you will appreciate it. Life's a lot better without alcohol.
I went to a customer's house today, and I met a really interesting guy. He's also a YouTuber. He's been doing it for like 7 years. His channel is mainly around recovery from addictions, and he's been interviewing guys like Steve-O and damn, I forget the rock star's name, but Mr. Two Rock, pretty cool dude.
Right on.
Especially if someone's dealing with any kind of a past addiction, whether it's alcohol or heavy drugs or shit like that. pretty good support channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one thing I haven't noticed a lot of in the precious metals. They don't seem to have the psychological dependency thing. They seem to be more witted and solidly based mentally. Probably because they understand metals and economics. I don't know, but I don't recall having dealt with anybody who has what are they called obsessions other than precious metals. At least it's not talked about openly,
And
so I'm not aware of any. So it might mean something for
but
the
make no
Italian
mistake, at the same
precious metals.
Oh,
To keep you sane.
amazing how people are addicted to so many other things these days, like social media and crap like that too. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's all in the, and that's all it's called personality, and the first part of personality is the person. It's an individual thing, and everyone's got to get over their own individual thing. And most people look to external things for individual things, which makes it even worse. But self-realization is a hard thing for most people to get. So I don't deal myself with any of that stuff because I went through it and figured it out and whatever. And I grew mentally because of it, which I'm sure people who do therapy or whatever do the same thing. But my personality, I just like when I got in coke in the 80s, I was in and out in 6 months, never touched it again the rest of my life. People say it's addictive. Well, I never got addicted to it. I could go to sleep on the shit. It didn't do nothing for me. My system, this is
Never
built.
pumped my soul there. My dad was always just like, why is everybody like this so fucking much?
I walk away from alcohol and never went back and don't care to. I just, my Kung Fu, when I walked away from Kung Fu, I just walked away. I don't care. I learned what I could, did what I could, did what I did. Now it's time for something new, and that's the way I look at things. But most people, I guess, don't look at it that way or do it that way.
Yeah, I'm also doing this for my liver. It needs a good cleansing.
There's lots of things you can eat for that.
Yep.
I have a whole bunch of saved up for. Actually, I should let people access it. I've got a lot of. I've been into holistic medicine, not eating, but holistic medicine for. And I swear by it. It helps me walk. I've been an iron worker for 30 years. I can still walk, stretch, do all this stuff that most people, well, every person I know who's been in that long can't do. So I think it works.
Well, and probably the first thing is water, the high quality, clean water.
No.
Fresh.
Flexibility.
What?
Flexibility does more than anything for you. You stretch the ligaments and tendons and muscles, and then your blood flow works better, and that works better for you than water, because what does water do? It runs with your blood, so if you don't have good blood flow, then, so flexibility, man. If you watch wrestlers like Diamond Dallas Page, those guys in there, and sure, yeah, it's fake, whatever, but they still do their sort of astronomical jumps and landings. That shit takes effect on your body after a while. And these guys would be like half paralyzed. This guy, Diamond Dallas Page, came along with this isometric, and I'm sure you guys have heard me say this before, isometrics. He came along with this isometric regime, and he's taken guys that were in wheelchairs and got them walking like normal people again through his training regimen of isometrics and stretching.
Yeah, I've been hearing about some treatment also, some sort of a injection they're calling a Jesus shot that heals pretty well.
No shots or nothing. All isometric, all just stretching, and it works out because your body's designed to where if like one part of your back gives out, you can develop certain muscles stronger than other muscles around that injured area of your back that can re-stretch out your back. You just got to work that certain way to build up those muscles to get around like a nerve injury in your back because of a broken backbone or
mine, unfortunately, it's arthritis all through my lower lumbar.
Or arthritis. Check into Dallas Diamond's page.
Well, that's an easy look up. Wrestling is a big thing around here.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm sure Diamond Dallas Page is big in wrestling. I'm sure you've heard him. He's helped all the wrestlers, too.
And you sound like Jim Ross. Anybody ever tell you sound like Jim Ross, of the WWE announcer, or was?
The
Who?
Boltonator?
Yeah, he does. He reminds me of Jim Ross. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
My wife would love hearing you say that. My wife is super wrestling fan. She can tell you about the beginnings of that. For birthday and Christmas, she just wants wrestling memorabilia.
For anyone that doesn't know, I think that 79 actually really likes nickel. And that's why she likes teasing him.
Yeah, how can you tell? But I'll tell you this. I'm going to answer a question. Do you ever wonder what like? Okay, I tell you what. I'd probably be better off than when I got kicked in the head with that pony, and that's all I'll say on that.
And I'll say this:
There you go.
I was born in an elevator. Doctor didn't have a chance to touch me until the elevator doors were open. I was already out, so I'm good to go.
Yeah, nickel's awesome. I really like nickel stacking too. He's got a.
There you go.
I said it before. I saw the face reveal. It kind of reminded me of Papa Smurf. If you remember the Smurfs, you know, just the good wholesome guy in the background.
C4 had some good advice for arthritis. Thank you.
I'm taking an herbal remedy right now.
Well, I'm drinking green tea. Like you drink green tea, right, Neil?
No, I do not drink green tea, sir.
You do not drink tea?
Not green tea. Earl Grey tea, yes, but green tea, no. I thought you said green tea. My bad.
Okay. Yeah, no, I did originally, and then when you denied that, I thought I'll just do it more general.
I do. I drink green tea.
Nickel stacking basketball guru auction pro music. That's a mouthful.
Boy, howdy.
I wanted to add more. I couldn't. Ran out of room.
And he's short, too. I think he's got a complex.
All right, I subbed you, so I'm going to check that stuff out.
I thank you for that. I told some, they said, why is that long? I said, because when I get in those duck races, a lot of times they give a prize for first and last. And I said, with the title like that, I've got to finish first and last. I get 2 prizes. So I told them.
The other thing that, just for your information, Boltonator, that Nickel's really good at is finding good deals, you know, like buying and selling, garage sales, auctions, things like that. The deals that he picks up are fantastic, and if you become familiar with his channel, you'll see what I mean.
Oh, so you guys have heard it, and in chat they're talking about the DDP page.
Yeah, I think Anti put that in there first.
Yeah.
I had not heard of it before.
What is the
familiar
DDP?
with it?
You ought to check it out, seriously.
Yeah, he helped Snake Roberts, Snake,
Oh, okay.
the Snake, and he helped out the one that just died recently.
Bray Wyatt?
No, he was New World Order guy.
How many of them were? 16 of them?
Right, New World, yeah, but I mean the main of the top 3. He was also the Cuban
Rick
sounding
Steiner?
guy. Who?
Oh, he was Samoa Joe or something? Not Samoa Joe.
No, the guy he was Razor Ramon. He helped him out.
Oh, yeah. He damn sure did. And then he fell and broke his hip and fucking died in his house.
I don't know what happened there. It could have been a medical thing. I don't know. He went, then come out.
It all depends on how you break your hip. If there was internal damage, he could have easily bled to death before he could have got to the phone.
Well, lot of crazy crap goes on in there. But those guys put themselves through tremendous pain for a show for everybody.
No, not Nash, my career.
No, I'm talking about the wrestlers.
Oh, I was answering Mike Herrera's question in chat.
All right, I'm going to check out that DDP because if I can fix my
he
day,
helps big guys. He helps big guys, bro, walk again.
Well, I'm not to that point, but the minute I'm doing something for 5 minutes, standing up, my whole back locks up. I start shaking and sweating. So
there you go. You could definitely at least look at him, and I hope like hell it helps you.
Yeah, because I've even went in. I paid about $5,000 for them to go in and burn my nerves in my back, ablation, and it didn't do crap.
Fuck that shit, man. Go all natural, man. It does work. Just find the right people. Check into the. Well, no, I don't want to say anything.
It's top secret.
No, it's the JM channel might get a strike. I give out. I get strikes when I give medical information because the WHO doesn't.
Yes, they don't like that.
Yeah.
They no likey.
That's okay. I'll switch from here.
What I can say is, don't believe what Wikipedia says about Dr. Max Gerswin. I can say that safely.
Yeah, I had to go through training after I got a community strike for medical misinformation. I did. They made me go through policy training. And apparently the thing that got me into the community strike was an old lady with a thing of beer telling you if you taste beer and you can smell it, you're safe. You know, no swine flu. Just to not say the name. The disease that shall not be named.
I got a disclaimer running along the ticker there now, so I think we're good.
Okay, cool. I'm still not going to go there. I'm riding with the strike until April 1st.
I hear it.
I'm training myself to be good.
Are you?
According to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one strike.
Yeah, here we go. Anti. But like I think there's nothing wrong with sharing information and opinions.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's when someone says, I recommend that you do this and you need to do that, that's dispensing something, which we're not doing. We are not doing that. Okay, let's zoom out a little more again. Here we go. I kind of feel like I hear Nickel talking.
I think 79 is proclaiming my acting skills when she saw me on One Life to Live, playing as an actor that played a doctor.
No, I was on mute. So, but Chris Benoit, whatever, Benoit. Yeah, I'm not for sure about that. I'm not for sure about all that either. I'm not for sure he wouldn't kill. I'm just not. I just don't know.
Thank you, Andy.
There's a lot of conspiracy about him. But was he set up? Did he kill his family? You know, it's a. I don't believe any of it. I don't know.
Indy, I'm gonna have Ian Marks over on next Sunday. You want to stop by? See you later, girl.
Have a good night, Indy. Anyone that has not subscribed to Independent Many,
I can tell you what happened to Chris Benoit, bro. To me, it's plain as clear because I was around fuckers like him. Steroids do crazy things to you, brother, and steroid rage is real, and you do go psychotic the more you do, and the more stress you're under. So ask yourself this question: how many was he doing, and what stress was he under? There's your answer.
Back then, all kinds of stress. They weren't treating their entertainers as good as
after everything happened. After his little roid rage, which trust me, it's dangerous. It is dangerous. My bet at the time is just come back from Europe was as a young teenager. My best friend's dad was he did Windsor RV, which back in the early 80s, late 70s, I guess, it was a bull steroid, one of the best ones bodybuilders could get at the time. He was like French curling 325. This guy was so huge, his muscles touched together. He couldn't even wash the back of his head because his neck muscles and shoulder muscles hit. He couldn't get there. But he was all roided out. And when he roid rages, holy fuck, dude. And he kept controlling himself. I never got hurt around him. I could only imagine someone under heavier stress than that guy doing more steroids than that guy, having a kid whining at him and a wife whining at the same time. He probably just snapped, killed him, came back down, realized what he did, and said, I fucked up, and then shot himself.
Well, we're on wrestling. I don't know how we got here. We did. What's your
79 since you wanted to body slam you or something.
Oh yeah, probably. What is your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers? I'll be interested.
What was
I
that
don't
again?
really follow wrestling.
Yeah,
The Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. You get to pick the top 4. You're going to put their faces on a stone, and that's the top 4 you think all time, or the 4 best, or they draw the most people, whatever you want, the criteria you want to do, how they performed. The top 4.
I don't think we have enough people knowledgeable enough about wrestling to answer that.
Top 4, you'd have to go. I preferred the 80s, early 90s wrestlers. Like the Hulk Hogan times, the freaking Macho Man, all them good guys.
Macho Man's got to be there. He's got to be there. Hulk Hogan.
But they're actually right now, there's some great ones in there right now. And I'm not talking about Showman Mr. Rock or anything like that. He was a good showman. But don't get me wrong, he's not really in there anymore. But they got some good ones out there.
It all depends on what your criteria is.
Well, this is all time. I would pick Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Flair, Ric Flair. That'd probably be my 4.
Whoa!
Yeah. Woo! Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Kevin Nash.
Oh, no.
Sting.
It could be. Sting could be there.
And
Andre the Giant.
Dead Man.
Oh, yeah, Undertaker. He could be there, yeah. But I take this. What they're taught, their mic ability, technique, longevity.
Rock.
Well, yeah, but The Rock, he didn't really wrestle all that long.
No, but just mic ability. He's got the best natural mic ability.
Oh, yeah. He's the best on the mic. There's no doubt about it. He perfected that. But you got to take all those considerations, how you work, key matches, what you drew in. We got to remember, they didn't have the people. Huh?
More advanced would be Stone Cold. And Stone Cold did good promos.
Well, he pretty much dominated. And his sales of his items, the skull and everything, always blew everybody else away. So he sold a lot. So, yeah.
316.
The Von Erichs, man, you got to give them there's so many, that's what I'm saying, there's so many freaking wrestlers that are awesome. The Von Erichs were a family of wrestlers that basically built the scene, and once it started doing the showman stuff on TV. And there's 4 of them that were in there?
That was a family tragedy, bro.
Yeah. I think there's only one left.
Well, you take Hulk Hogan. His technique, it's not that good, but he knew how to.
He was a showman.
You do
right. He appealed to the crowd, and that's what made him so good.
Showman, you do Shawn Michael. He's one of the best showmen around.
He was good. He was a good one. There's a lot of good ones, like you say.
But you
wrestling.
and Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Depends on how far back you go.
Bird.
Yeah, the Sheik. Then you got Dusty.
Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah. Son of a
Junkyard
bugger.
Dog.
Oh, yeah.
And
And
so
even go further back, get Rock's dad.
I think it peaked. I think it peaked during the that era where the Attitude Era. I think that's when they was at their very top game, and I think it's kind of gone down since then. You know,
I think they're picking the Attitude Era back up.
I don't
That's
really
the
watch
best.
it much anymore.
Yeah, I just watched the highlights, like 5 minutes of what happened. 2-hour show.
The Rock and Stone Cold, when those two were together at that time period, that's when it was really at its best.
The
And
Rock
all those
is-
extras, Rey Mysterio, The Big Show, Undertaker, Kane, Triple H. I know. I really tell you the truth, I can't stand Triple H. I never thought he was that great, but he was one of the rivals that they used. So they had a good rivalry.
He worked the best business part of the game.
And yeah, Anti was right there when he said I was blowing you guys off in the chat rather than talking with you. But that's because I never really followed wrestling very much, so I know who you guys are talking about for most of them. But probably Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker would have been the only two that I would have been able to pick off the top of my head.
Kurt Angle was pretty good. You know, he learned the business very quickly. I mean, quite impressively. You know, he was like a main star within 2 years. You know,
Oh, yeah,
that's
right.
amazing.
If you're gonna do that, who was that again?
Kurt Angle.
Okay, he did have a long career. Sting was hotter.
The Fiend.
The Road Warrior was hot stuff for about 2 years, and he flamed out. He was limited. He was very limited to what he did, and that's why he didn't last. And he didn't want to change, and he didn't want to learn. You know, he wanted to be the Road Warrior, same Road Warrior year in, year out, and you can't do that. You have to kind of have, you got to change.
You got to cycle in and out. You know, you want to know why the Road Warriors were so bad for so long, or such a hot commodity? Because his brother was Vince Lombardi. There was the CEO of booking.
Good to see you, man.
So when he made money, his brother made money. So he kept his brother as a tag team champion. He sent him to Japan. They played the Japan route, and then he went to WCW. Then they came back to WWF. It was all planned by his brother to keep them up there for their family to make money.
He did, Mike. He did. He's asked if he broke. Yeah, he broke his neck. I think he's probably broken it more than once. Yeah, he stayed in.
He broke his
Stayed
neck
in
at the young
at
age
the Olympics.
before he got in WWE. He was cleared to wrestle when he went back to WWE, and as he got older, it got worse, so they played it. If you watch him walk now, I think he's had spinal fusion, and he can't bend his back. That's why he looks like he's got a fucking hole shoved up his ass. He walks so straight and funny.
Which one are you talking about, Brock or Kurt?
Kurt.
Yeah, Kurt Angle broke his neck. Brock, he messed his neck up pretty bad. He landed wrong. He was in some serious pain, you know, and he almost messed it. He almost ended his career. He felt this a little bit more differently, and that'd have been it.
That's funny. I was watching the Clint Eastwood movie Heartbreak Ridge the other day and realized that Brock Lesnar was the Swede.
I didn't know that either. See, you learn something new every day. I did not know that. That was Brock Lesnar. Holy shit. Well, it makes sense. He's been big his whole life.
Yeah, he's through. He's probably through because of all the scandal going on with the McMahons.
No, he's going to make a run at AEW or Japan if he wants money, and they'll give it to him.
Oh yeah. thought McMahon was taken out of the ring.
That's WWF, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
He was-
he's gone. He'll never be back.
There's other companies out there, and he's a big draw. They'll take him in a heartbeat. They don't care about that WWF stuff. They'll play off of it and make more money off of him. That's how the business works.
Yeah, you never know what's real. Used to be, you never knew. Is that a real story, a real angle? Is that a story? And they could turn tragedies into promotions.
Yep.
Promotions.
I think we're boring the crap out of JM.
We are. We need to get back on stuff he knows about.
Hey, I'm still here. But
I
yeah,
jacked the shit.
that's right. If it's a subject I'm not really familiar with, then you know.
And don't want to be.
That's more importantly. Don't care about that shit.
Well,
I'm
Yeah.
alright with it.
Yeah, Roman Reigns is a bad fucking babyface.
I don't know. I don't know if they can sell it with The Rock today, though. He's not what he used to be. I don't know. He had to come in and kind of save them or help them, but I don't know.
I was just joking around. I actually prefer him as a babyface compared to the fucking heel.
Okay, he's shooting something.
That was just target practice.
Oh,
I'm just testing this out. I see it's buffering though. I might have to drop the quality on it.
It says powered by StreamYard. Oh, you live streamed practice.
That's I recorded it in StreamYard. Here, let me drop the quality a bit. Unfortunately, so it doesn't buffer. I turned the volume on it so you can't hear me yipping and yapping. That's not working very good, is it?
is this the same video that you showed the anti-air looking silver bullet thing?
Yep. Yep.
That's cool.
It's
How many ounces is that? Is that 5?
10.
10 ounces.
I'm really disappointed. Yeah, I'm really disappointed this is buffering though. I may have to turn the music off and the background off and all that.
Close a couple
Probably
tabs.
Yeah.
Showing his flair.
Turn the background off. And the ticker. It's still buffering. That's not good. Oh, that means I need to upgrade my computer.
Damn it, JM. I told
Just
you
thought
to
I'd do
do
this,
that 3 weeks from now.
I just did upgrade it not that long ago. But this is playing off the internet. It's not like I'm just playing a file that's on there.
Oh,
Speaking of doing an unboxing of metal bullets,
Yeah, that's my buddy's little little BB gun.
just remember firing caps is what you want if there's ever a scenario of barter, because that's the base of any bullet. Firing
Oh,
cap.
the concrete ones.
No, on the other end of the bullet, the one bullet, the part that doesn't go out the barrel,
part that ignites the powder.
at the base of it's a firing pin, firing clip, firing whatever you want to call it. That's the most important part of the bullet. Without it, the bullet doesn't go bang. So if you have a couple thousand of those laying around, you have a good barter material.
There's the 5-ounce shotgun shell right there.
Now, see, if you're going to get shot by something, you need shot by silver. That way, when it penetrates, you know it's sterile.
Right.
That's what she said.
That's the 10-ounce 50 caliber.
Ain't gonna be no werewolves over at your house anytime soon.
It's all spread. I don't keep it all in one place. There it is there.
No, you kill werewolves with silver bullets.
Well, that's a novelty item. Like the premium on that's really high, right?
Oh yeah, all the numismatics are high for premium.
Is it just silver or is it functional?
It's not
No.
functional, sure.
Pure silver.
Oh, okay.
3.9's fine. So it's kind of a novelty item, but it still adds weight to what you got going on too. There we go. Thanks for putting up with that. I thought that was a nice little sort of intermission.
See, Mike knows.
Oh, hey, how come I'm on the large screen like that? That's not right. There we go. There we go. Now we're back.
I just realized I put my avatar in backwards.
Is it? Oh, it's mirrored?
Oh, on YouTube it's mirrored. That's weird.
Yeah.
Different glitches they
Oh,
need to
that's
work
right on.
out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a nice paintball gun too. I like how you can put on a nice, pretty good size CO2 cartridge on it. It was almost empty at the time of that recording. So right on, guys. Thanks for coming up, and thanks for everyone in the chat that's been here. We've been going a little over 3 hours. I can still keep going another or so if you want.
What's Bitcoin down to now? What's it worth?
Okay, so that chart that I'm showing there is only showing percentages, but like I can look it up separately, and we'll share that. CoinDesk is probably a good one.
What's it priced at right now?
Let's see. This says 61,000.
Yeah, it has come down. Yeah,
And what did it get to? 65?
71, wasn't it?
71. Wow.
I'm seeing. Okay, so that's just fairly recent. There we go. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Let's make that. We make that full screen.
So it's like
So it
70
looks like
something.
Yeah, 71, about 71.5.
Yeah. So it's dropped. Well, that's a major
10,000.
percentage drop in what, 1 day? 2 days?
No.
A week?
My computer just froze up. There we go.
From the 13th, it looks like.
Yeah, just give it a second here.
Where do you go to change the avatar on here?
What's up? Try again.
The
Where do you
little
go?
gear, the little gear at the bottom right is your settings gear.
Toro, Toro, Toro. Dive, dive, dive.
There you go. There's the longer haul on it.
There you go. From there to
so yeah, it looks like since March 12th.
Okay, I thought it was the 13th.
So in the last
about week.
Well, it's right in and around there.
So it's fallen a
We'll
good 10% in a week.
No, 10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be like
Which is
13% actually, 14%.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. You got it.
Yeah, that's stable. But whatever, you know, hey,
I hear
you
the
can make money
sarcasm
on it.
here.
Just look, imagine all those people that sold as it was going up. Oh no, that's right. People don't sell as it's going up; they sell as it's going down and lose money. Damn, hate it for them.
So yeah, now it's come back to its previous two highs.
It's a reverse cup and handle.
See that green line going across here? So yeah, like
gold is far more stable.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
One thing for sure, investing in yourself can never go wrong. No speculation.
Hey, try again. Good to see you. Okay, I'm okay with that. My only concern with it is the previous video that I tried playing was buffering like crazy. And I was really disappointed about that. And so my concern is that if I try playing it, it may buffer. But it's a great here. Yeah, sorry, try again. You're showing up here. We're kind of winding down here. Let me switch which one I'm sharing here. There we go. So this is the charts we were looking at most of the time. You're more than welcome to post the link, and I can try playing it. Was there anything else you guys wanted to?
Nope. I'm actually going to be stepping down.
Okay.
Thank you for having me up here. Thank everyone for putting up with my crap.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
No,
I'll see y'all tonight.
I appreciate everyone here.
Good to see you all.
And thanks for being the first one on the panel there, Neil.
Not a problem, man. You know I love running my mouth.
Well, it's a nice contrast to me because I'm not really a big talker. Like I'll talk about stuff that I'm passionate about and what's on the top of my head and everything. But once that's gone, like I like to listen more than I talk most of the time.
I'll tell what I know about what subjects I know about.
Yep, and I like learning. You know, I definitely enjoy learning all the time.
If you're not learning, you're not living life.
Indeed. All right, you guys have a good evening.
Peace out, my brother.
You too. And you're welcome to stick around, Bolt, or whatever you like.
Right on.
It's up to you.
Where you get?
We can sit here and. Pardon me?
Wasn't Ante sending you something?
Yep, he's got a video for me to play here. So
is that?
I wonder. No,
not going to give you a ding from the title that he was describing.
Possibly.
Oh.
It's possible.
And how are the
I don't
doggos,
know.
man? Still doggoing it out?
They're doing good. Hopefully I'm not buffering too much. There's an ad playing on this link right now. That's almost good. But it's on my end. It's okay. There we go. Okay, no, this is good. This is from Redacted. I think we're gonna be okay.
Okay.
Yep, the doggos are good, man. Do I got the other picture there? Let's see, I'll switch the picture. I just picked up a new customer too. It's a German Shepherd that was rescued.
Right on.
Not in this picture. So I'm actually going to shut that chart off now.
I'm
and
still good with my 7.
There we go. Yeah, I was wondering how that's going.
Yep, a little bit is still kicking it and playing her NASCAR games in the living room, running in left-hand circles. Happy as hell to be pet.
Yeah.
Still have the standoff between 2 of the dogs against 3 of the other dogs. Keep them near each other. They get stupid.
Well, and if they've been like that for that long, there is something that's causing them to do that, and it's probably kind of imprinted now anyway. So
it's my dog Charlie. She wants to attack and go after her sisters, and the sisters don't do anything in retaliation. So therefore, Daddy goes, "Hey, I want to join in the fun and attack somebody." But if keep them all separated, they're all good.
Yeah.
Nobody's a mean dog when it comes to people and normal other dogs, but just between those 3.
Yeah. The if you see in the picture I've got there, the Welsh Springer Spaniel on the far right is a dog that I dog sit and walk just occasionally. So I did a video where I was integrating them with the other 3 dogs. And so this is just a screenshot of part of that video where they're all really sitting nicely and everything.
Nice and well behaved.
Yeah. But of course, that's at the end of the walk. I'd never expect them to be that well behaved right at the beginning.
Gotta wear them out. Kind of like kids.
Yeah. And the animals, I did a fair amount of work with horses too. And it's the same thing. If they're in the barn, overnight, they're looking forward to getting outside in the morning. And if you haven't exercised them or really got them outside of where they're used to being, they're full of piss and vinegar until you work through it. Yes, I did. I got it. That's cool. It's from Redacted, so I'm pretty sure it's fine. Are you good with me playing a video there, Boltnator, or did you want to chat for a bit more first?
It's your house, my brother.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty casual. I'm kind of winding down, but I'm here to chat with you if you wanted. I don't need this caption.
I just took me a couple of melatonins to hopefully chill out my brain. Drink a little bit of milky milk before I go back to my lemon water, and I'll hit the rack hopefully in a little bit.
Nice. Sounds good. Yeah, it's a little bit late here for me too. It's almost 1 in the morning, and I've been trying to get to bed earlier too.
Well, I know my brain, like I was talking about the no alcohol thing. Like last night, I laid in bed for 3.5 hours before maybe I got a little bit of sleep, and then woke up within an hour and a half, and then it seemed like half in and out of sleep until I had to get up for work.
Yeah.
So I anticipate another night or 2 of that.
Once you get into a good schedule, though, it'll stick.
Yeah, C4. Let's see here. I did just take the melatonin, but I don't know the strength of them, so I only took 50. That was a joke.
And it seems a bit much. But I try not to take anything. I try not to take anything at all. There we go.
Yeah, they're only 1 milligram melatonin, so I took 2.
My sister was using that as well, just as a sleep aid.
I don't usually, but I'm going to try it and see if it helps. Who knows? It's better than taking a literal sleeping pill. My brain should still be active.
Okay, so I gotta make a new ticker here. There we go. There, that's a nice disclaimer, right? That should be pretty good. Okay, well, I'm gonna hit play on this, and this will be a nice way to play us out. If you stop or chat about it at all, let me know.
Right on, right on.
So let's turn the volume on it. And
I like the title.
yeah. I'm going to try this. Let's just see if it buffers at all.
Why are Americans paying income taxes to a federal government that doesn't seem to really care about Americans? Money is sent to Ukraine and Israel, while veterans are homeless in the United States, sleeping on the streets. Same question that U.S. Congressman Thomas Massie just asked this week. He asked the very same thing and ignited a firestorm on the internet with this tweet. He posted this: "The federal income tax was unconstitutional for most of our country's existence. The founders of this country would never have agreed to it. We should repeal it," he said. It's been viewed millions of times now, and has a lot of people raising questions about paying taxes. Someone who's made a career out of battling the IRS and not paying taxes and teaching other people how to not pay taxes is a man by the name of Payman Mottahedeh. He's the founder of the president of the Freedom Law School and the president of the Freedom Law School. And he hasn't paid taxes in over 30 years. So we thought, let's talk to him. Let's find out what exactly is going on here. Payman, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Clayton.
So, okay, for a lot of our viewers sitting there saying, wait a second, he hasn't paid taxes in over 30 years. How is he still walking around? How is he not locked up? Why did you decide, first off, at the beginning, why did you decide to start not paying taxes? What was the catalyst for you?
Picture this, being jolted awake by a blaring alarm clock, dragging yourself out of bed.
I heard a talk radio like yours back in 1992 about income tax being voluntary. Went to a seminar, and the person that showed me the laws, the tax laws, like the Internal Revenue Code, and I said, well, why, as a freedom-loving libertarian person, I'm paying this tax I don't have to pay? So I just stopped, and I started teaching Americans that if you want to get our country back, to elect people like Thomas Massie into Congress to represent us, the American people, not the big banks and corporations. Let's not give our money to our enemies and keep it for ourselves and give some of it to restore freedom in America by electing good people to represent us in government.
So how does this work? There's going to be a lot of people that are going to say, wait a second, I've been paying taxes all these years. I've been working so hard, giving up 35% of my paycheck every year, paying income taxes. I get nervous every time the tax season comes around. I've got to scrape together my pennies and all of this stuff. And you've been doing this for over 30 years. What is the foundation, I guess, the basis for which you say it's illegal, you don't have to pay them? Like, what are you basing that on?
Actually, the income tax is completely legal and constitutional. But the way it's written, it applies only to citizens and residents of Washington, D.C., federal workers, and contractors. They just deceived us to believe when they use the term United States in tax law. They make a thing here in the Internal Revenue Code that means the 50 states individual, the 50 state citizen, and that is not the case. The person they have jurisdiction over here is Washington, D.C. related, because the federal government is a 51st separate government from the 50 states and countries in our union. So we just didn't realize that. We just assumed that, oh, it applies to me. And that's how they've done that. Since 1913, has been this way.
And this is what Congressman Massey's talking about, that for 98% of Americans, this doesn't apply to you. Like, you don't.
Correct.
For 2% who happen to live in the Washington, D.C. metro area, and you're a federal employee, then I guess it does apply to you. Is that what we're talking about here?
Correct. And most of us can simply stop voluntarily paying our enemies in Washington, D.C., who are wasting our money and doing corruption and cover up their criminals, just like it was done in the Soviet Union, where I grew up in the 60s, saw this big empire eventually collapse. And that's what's going on also. Iris is collapsing of its own weight from within.
And to be clear, you moved from Iran a number of decades ago and became an American citizen. And why did you leave Iran, and what were you hoping to find in the United States?
Well, I came here to get educated. Then a revolution happened in Iran in 1979, I ended up staying. But I always admired America, land of the free, home of the brave. In Iran, we could not criticize the king, the Shah of Iran, and if you did, you could be kidnapped. No one knows where you're at. You could be tortured, executed. So here in America, land of the free, we're having political prisoners like we had over there over January 6th because we protested against our vote being gone. No longer a government of by and for we the people, and then put us to jail when we object. So that's why I'm doubling up. I'm saying we got to just stop paying our enemies. There's no law requiring us to. Look, I'm not in prison. IRS knows me. We've been in court many times. I've beaten the IRS, myself and my students, in tax court, in the federal district court, and the whole thing is based upon hoopla and bluff to American people that the corrupt major media promotes.
So when you've gone to court, just take me through this. You stopped paying your taxes. How long after you stopped paying your taxes did the IRS come after you and try to bring you to court? How long was that? A year, 2 years?
In 1994, they had me under criminal investigation for a year and a half. Then they found nothing on me, so the case went civil. They went try to do a tax court thing I did with them. Then after that, they came after me in 2003. I claimed I was the abusive tax shelter promoter. They closed that in 2016. 2009, they put over $600,000 on me. And after 2 years, I had beat them with the IRS appeals office and tax court agreeing with me. In 2006, they had the criminal investigation trying to get the record of the hotel, had a big freedom event, and who attended. And I sued them in the federal district court, and they were forced to withdraw that investigation and that summons. So I've been with them in court many times. And of course, the major media doesn't want to cover this stuff because as long as American people are blind, they don't know what's going on, they'll be good little sheep slaves to support and fund this criminality in the federal government.
So for our viewers out there probably saying to themselves, my God, I don't want to have to deal with all this court back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They're going to come after me. They're going to try to lawfare me, which is, bleed me dry with legal fees and lawyer fees and all of these things, so that I'd just be better off paying my taxes so I don't have to pay all these legal fees to lawyers and everything.
That's not the case. According to IRS's best estimates, there's about 80 million non-filers, people who do not file income tax returns. I don't see 80 million people in prison or paycheck or bank account taken. It's a myth that the media tells you that, if you don't file, you're going to go to prison. So put that 1040 signature form rope around your neck, under oath, swear you owe the IRS money. You deny yourself the right to a trial to challenge the IRS. When under oath, you say you owe them money. If you don't fill out that form, you owe them no money. And the IRS has chosen since 2017 to basically completely leave non-filers alone, according to the reports of the IRS auditors.
With the BMO e-business plan, I'm able to pay my suppliers wherever, whenever.
So they'll just leave you alone. They just won't even come after you.
Decided to do as a minute sounds. They did actually do that back in the 70s to 2010s. But in 2012, a collapse of the IRS started, which the government auditors reports show that, it's gonna, like Soviet Union is going to just disappear. But we're going to expedite that and fund freedom instead.
You have a lot of detractors online. I'm sure you're aware of that. People who say that you're crazy, people who say that what you're doing is illegal, of course, People say that you are paying your taxes, that you're using staff members' names to file your taxes, and that you're not a lawyer, that you're an accountant. So there's a lot of people going after you online. What do you say to some of their criticisms of you about this? Are they trying to bring you down? Are there any legitimate concerns? What do you say to these people?
It's just simply not true. I have not filed an income tax for over 30 years as a matter of principle. I am a freedom fighter first, Clayton. I'm not here for the money. I'm here because, going back to Iran, what do I have over there? Here is the last bastion of freedom on earth, where the system recognizes our rights come from our creator. We're born with it. So it's just simply not true. But, they always put out lies about you, because if they're not put me in jail for not paying income tax openly, for teaching Americans not to pay income tax openly, they cannot do that. So What they can do, they could just try to sow some innuendo and hearsay, call you this, that, the other. That's all they can do.
Yeah, they've thrown out things like that you have a law school, but you never filed for a license for this school.
Correct. Because I don't need to. We don't need a permission from government to teach. Moses and Jesus and founding fathers got no permission before they did what they did. You just start exercising your right to free speech, to press, to assembly, share with the American people what's going on, and try to clean up the government that we got back to the vision and plan of the founding fathers, a government of, by, and for the people. People, once again, this is not a school to make money. It's actually a movement to have America be free once again, Clayton.
Okay, so let's talk about then some of the people you've helped, because I'd be curious about this. So you haven't paid taxes for over 30 years. You have this school that teaches people how to do this. And of course, there's criticism of that. People have said, you're not a lawyer, so how can you do this? You're unlicensed. How can you do this? So talk about some of the people that you've helped. Do you have any some examples of people who've followed your path here and gone through it? Has the IRS bothered these people? Have they come after these people at all?
Sure. One of them is a man named Joseph Bannister, who used to be in the 1990s a gun-carrying IRS criminal investigation agent, special agent. And he heard about me and contacted me and investigated the stuff I'm saying about income tax. He wrote a book about income tax fraud and said, Payman, you guys are right. And he wrote a letter to the commissioner of the IRS, along with his report on income tax fraud, 90 pages, said, look, I took an oath to uphold the Constitution. Show me where this book is wrong, otherwise I have to quit. I cannot do this thing. And they said, get lost. We're not going to talk to you. Then they tried to put him in prison in 2005, not for having not filed and paid income taxes, which he stopped in year 2000, but for other stuff they tried to get him, and the jury acquitted him. And he has not filed and paid income tax for over 23 years also.
It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. And it sounds like, God, there's got to be a catch here, right? I mean, you have Congressman Thomas Massey saying that this was unconstitutional up until a couple of years ago, and we should repeal this because, legally there should be no reason for Americans to have to pay this. There sounds like there's got to be a loophole. What are we missing here? Is there a loophole? Is there a catch? If you suddenly have tens of thousands of Americans that just stop paying their income taxes, I mean, what's going to happen here?
The first step to funnel hacking is finding ads. And today I want to give you a free piece of software.
We're going to do the same.
The ads.
Yeah, so I just paused it there for a second. Just going to see, what do you think about the subject and everything, Boltonator?
And it's very interesting, and I can see solid things of it. This guy, I don't know, he's setting off a small alarm in me, though.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I trust him.
Yeah. And like I've heard lots of other people discuss this subject and in sort of similar agreement with what he's saying. And I look at it as, if they're not going to get it from income tax, they'll just tax something else. They'll get you on property tax or sales tax. stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree. But they're already doing that.
That's right. So anyway, I'm glad to see this video. I'm going to keep playing it unless there's anything else you wanted to say in the meantime.
No, I was just trying to sink in everything they were talking about, and then, you know, let it settle for a minute, assess it, and see what I accept or what I want to research and things like that.
Yep, sounds good. The other thing, just for your information on this platform, Restream, that's similar than StreamYard, is in StreamYard, you know, you can just, when you're hosting, you can mute the people on the panel. And on StreamYard, I can actually on Restream here, I can very easily just adjust the volume. So when I heard you coughing a couple of minutes ago, I just turned your volume down to like 20 or 30%.
Oh, yeah. Mother Nature got me coughing for a moment.
Yep. Oh no, that everyone coughs, but I was just saying that's another cool feature. Right? It's not just mute or unmute. You can actually just adjust it very easily without having to go heavy into the settings.
The setup here, they've got a lot of bugs to work out. I don't know if it goes the same on yours, but the chat on mine only goes approximately 10 minutes from when I first got in. It won't go any further. I have to go to YouTube to go see the comments.
Okay.
And then I can't find the change on the avatar, even in the settings area. I don't know what's going on with that.
Okay, yeah, I don't think you can change your avatar in here. You can change the background though.
Oh, like virtual background? That's the only one I saw.
That's right. Yeah.
And it says it's not set up or something.
I never change I always keep the same avatar. I just change the virtual background. You should be able to in settings there. Like there should be the default.
Okay, I'm seeing it.
There's the default background that they give you, and then you can upload your own pictures, just the same as on StreamYard. Play around with it. I'll keep playing this. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we keep getting ads, so.
Thing that happened in the Soviet Union. If you watch the videos of where the 91 Soviet Union collapsed, the Russian people banded together, hand in hand, and stopped supporting the system. They recognized that this brutal dictatorship is really bluff, and they outnumber them 100,000 to 1. Here, there's only 31 U.S. tax court judges. If we don't file, if we start withholding on our paycheck, which is available for free on our website, freedomlawschool.org, they cannot get all of us. There's 80 million non-filers, and they're just going to collapse because we outnumber them, just like happened in the Soviet Union, and we can get our country back once again. The problem is they have controlled the corrupt major media that brainwashes this people's mind for decades to believe IRS is the powerful thing when it's actually a Wizard of Oz. And everything I'm telling you, people can see documentation from government's own reports and official legal websites at freedomlawschool.org for free.
Now, we do know that the IRS we've covered it on our show, hiring 81,000 new agents. They are sending out massive AI-backed letters to individuals telling them that they owe back taxes. They're hoping to raise tens of millions of dollars with this strategy, sending out letters to people and trying to get them to pay back taxes for people who haven't paid, hiring all of these additional IRS agents. It does sound scary. And if they do haul individuals in front of the tax courts and do arrest individuals to make examples of them, because you know that the government seeks retribution, and they will do this. Just look at January 6th. And the Biden administration could very likely use the Department of Justice to go after people like that and make an example of them. Legally, I mean, I know you're not a lawyer, right? But you study law deeply. What would they try to pin on these individuals in court? I mean, what would they say about these individuals who they try to make an example of and try to put them away for years?
Well, first of all, it's a false that IRS will come after you if you don't file income tax, like this cartoon, we're looking at shows. It's the major media's creation that the IRS is this powerful thing that they are not. So, but if they do come after you, what we do, we have petitions on our website for free at Freedom Law School that has the law quoted and attached that we send to Congress and say, look, either stop the IRS, DOJ, and some corrupt judges from misapplying income tax to the American people in the 50 states, or show me where I'm wrong and I will humbly pay my fair share of taxes. We've done this thousands of times. People have done it many more on their own, and not once one lawmaker, congressman, senator showed us we're wrong. If they ever take us to a jury, we say, I wrote my congressman. It's all based on U.S. government's official legal websites. None of them told me I'm wrong, obviously because I'm right, because it's the law. And with that, you can't go to prison. You'll be free.
Welcome to Maserati and Alfa Romeo of London.
Well, this is fascinating. I don't know. We're going to see if you create a movement here. I mean, we've been covering this angle. I've been fascinated about this story for years, I will tell you. And there's been documentaries made about this, books written about it. Obviously, you're teaching people about it. And maybe this is a wake-up call to our federal government to start paying attention to Americans. Maybe if the money that they're receiving was actually reinvested in the United States, and we saw that our roads were fixed, our bridges were fixed, our schools were safe, our border was closed and protected, you and I probably wouldn't even be having this conversation. Would you agree?
That's my hope. But the way they're going to listen to us is we do not pay income tax anymore and support people like Anthony Hudson, who was on your show 2 weeks ago, who's running for Congress, who is a good, honest, average American who wants to represent us. But if we don't support people like Anthony Hudson, with our dollars, they cannot get into office to represent us. The big banks, corporations, lobbies own Congress, the federal government. So if we give our money to our enemies, how can we have any money to support ourselves, our families, and the people to represent us in Congress? It ain't going to happen. So we have a solution that will work. In Iran, where I grew up, I saw in 1979, people got on the streets, they striked. They just simply striked, and the government eventually collapsed. If we eventually stop working at Amazon and Walmart, say, no, I will not work unless you let me stop withholding on my paycheck, those big corporations will also come down to their knees and eventually say, okay, I'll let you not to have withholding for paycheck, because that's how the system relies upon. These big corporations.
I just wanted to pause there because he hits on a point that brings this up. I think what he's talking about is much more easy for people that are self-employed. If you have an employer and your taxes are all being deducted from the source before you get paid, the only way that I'm aware of to get them back is to file your taxes so you can get them rebated back, right?
Yes.
So I like his idea of advocating for being self-employed in that way, but I kind of got a bit of a gut feeling there too, like when he it almost get the feeling like he's trying to bring the system to its knees, which I don't like unless it's being done in the right way, because you want it to come back to the Constitution.
Yeah.
And I hope that's what he's doing.
I know this is a weird thing to say, but I just wish the government was honest when it started it, which I believe was before World War II, and it should be gone when it's over. And they didn't do that. They kept that shit for regular working average, income tax. I think that should be gone. But there's got to be some kind of monetary system in place to where the government's being fed money to make the government run.
Yeah. Well, since they're able to get money out of thin air.
Well, yeah, now.
Right? So imagine yourself, Boltonator, being able to print money out of thin air, plus tax everybody around you and have all that revenue coming in, and then go back to the people and say, well, sorry, I know we're printing the money out of thin air. It's not backed by anything. And I know we're taxing the living crap out of you, but we've been unable to balance our budget.
Yeah, it's a vicious circle. Go to work, pay taxes on the money that you earn from your work. Use that money that you just got taxed on to go to the store to get charged some more tax on that. So when you can buy some products, and then some of the products, when you turn around and sell them, you got to pay taxes on them. And the thing that you were already taxed. This shit gets confusing. It's fucking wild.
Well, and you know what? I think if they treated the veterans right, and they were balancing the budget, and they weren't stuffing us in all of this debt, and the roads were good, the healthcare was reasonably priced, inflation wasn't out of control, then I think people would be more than happy to voluntarily pay. We call it a tax, but let's call it a contribution for good work, right? And for helping us out as the people. But to me, when you see everything is falling apart, and they're taxing the crap out of you, and they're stuffing us and our future generations in debt, it becomes very attractive to say, hold on, we got to do something to stop this, because they're just going to keep kicking the can down the road.
Yeah. It takes some real changes.
This video is almost done. We'll play it out and then chat for a couple minutes if you like, and then we're gonna shut her down.
Roger that. Yeah, it's getting to 12:30 here soon.
Okay. Yeah, she's almost done. It's got another minute in it.
Stealing from your paycheck, and now you have to get it back by filling out a 1040 confession from under oath that you don't even understand what the heck you're signing. So this is going to be the way eventually we can truly have a realistic plan of having America restore to freedom once again, Clayton.
Fascinating. Well, I encourage our viewers to educate themselves. I'm not an attorney. I'm not an accountant. So go out there and deep dive this, research this, study the Constitution, research what Congressman Thomas Massey has been saying, and all the materials that Payman just mentioned here on the show. Payman, we appreciate you joining us. It's certainly eye-opening.
It was eye-opening. Actually, it does create some questions. He's gone virtual. Are you muted?
Oh, dang, I was muted. I was agreeing with you. I was like, yeah, it is. It's definitely worthwhile looking into and considering. And yeah, I went virtual. I switched the background. So that's the other thing with this restream is they give you a ton of background designs in the free mode too that are pretty easy to access. Like this would be a good one for a heavy metal show, I think. Here,
liquid metal. Yeah, I went in there and tried to do that. It'll let me upload the photo, but it won't let me display the photo. It's got some quirks in there, but they all do when they begin.
Yeah, it's not perfect. Well, thanks very much for being up here, Boltonator. I appreciate you and everyone else that was here. It was fun.
It was good to see you, my brother.
You too, man. And you sound healthy. And I hope that... what happened here? Backup settings. I just got one of those dumb notifications. So yeah, I hope that your health improves pretty rapidly. I think that it will, especially if you quit cold turkey.
It already actually has been, even just by cutting out sugars, man. And that you'd be surprised how much different I feel better. I feel. But that could have to do with the 25 to 30 pound fluctuation. But yeah, the alcohol needs to take a rest, if not go away.
Yeah. Well, I like enjoying it in moderation, but that is one of the there is an addictive element to it, so it's difficult to just have one.
Well, I realized I started doing it when something traumatic happened, and I just let it go and kept doing it even after somewhat passing on with that.
Yep.
It just became a habit.
That's
So
right.
I got to stop to get at least a pint.
Yep. So this is pretty cool what Anti is saying in the chat here. I didn't know that, and like you guys know, I'm in Canada, so I try to keep myself educated on what's going on in the States, and I know a lot of things are actually quite similar. So that's very cool. Thanks for that, Anti.
They are the Korea.
Yeah, I hope that this show doesn't get a strike. I think we've been pretty cool, but there's been some great information, and I could not have done it without all of you. So,
Well, as it says at the bottom, it was entertainment purposes only. Therefore, it was opinions and jokes and maybe a little bit of research.
yeah, definitely gives people to think about, something to think about, and okay, so I'm going to sign off. I hope everybody has a great evening and balance of the week. And once again, I appreciate all of you, and thanks again, Boltonator, for hanging out right to the end.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm going to go try and fight dogs on a bed for space.
Aw, just cuddle up with them. They'll appreciate that.
Oh, they do. They do what they want. They own the room.
Yeah.
Mama says so. Peace out, brother.
Yep. Have a good night.
You too.
Okay, so we can get rid of my ugly mug here. Have a great night, everybody. Appreciate all of you. We'll see you soon.